Welcome back to Condog's Corner. I'm here with a couple of the Witness boys. We got Ixie and Solentes over here. Guys, 6 LAN win streak thus far. You're here for the 7th. What are we thinking? Is it going to be the 7th in a row? Are we going to crumble?
Might be. I mean, it's LAN, so everything is not written in stone. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Okay. We've been fortunate enough to be winning a lot. But it's not decided yet.
I mean, I'd say, Solentes, that there's quite a few big name teams here. You've obviously got the Americans that have come over. You've got the Prem winners, our good friends DM. Then you've also got teams with Fancy Elf showing up to LAN. Do you think this is going to be competition for you, or is it just another bunch of middies?
I mean, we'll see. It really depends on how they play. Like, I'm always of the opinion, you can always win or lose. Doesn't matter who you are. No one can ever take away the past wins from you, so you'll always have them. So just focus on who's in front of you, and whoever it is, you just play, right? You just play the game. So.
It sounds like you're almost resting on your laurels. Is there no fighting talk? Is there a team that you really want to face and beat?
I just want to play all the good teams at LAN. Just at least once would be nice. But if that doesn't happen with the way the groups are, then that's the way it is now. But we'll scrim them, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. You sound confident. Ixie. How you doing, my friend? Are you good?
Yeah, of course, always.
Are you excited? I don't feel the energy from you right now. I'm
sure I come from a very warm place.
Okay.
Getting here, it's a bit cold.
Yeah.
Food is not that great. Well,
food's not that great.
Sometimes, sometimes you get some pretty bad food, but,
Well, hold on. I mean, I ate with you on night 1.
Yeah.
I seem to remember. We went to an Italian place.
Yeah.
And then, hold on, the next place, I walked past, and you also went to the same Italian place.
Yeah.
Aren't those some home comforts? Aren't they sort of, making you ready? No? It's not. No. Is it not good?
Well, it's fine. It's not that good.
Fine, is that?
Yeah, I mean, you asked me during the dinner, like, how would rate it? I said 6 out of 10.
Pretty average.
Average, not bad, not that good.
Did you have a couple more spritzes last night?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah, but it's not my kind of spritz anyway. I don't like that one.
No?
No.
It's not an Aperol spritz fan. Okay.
No,
okay. I see. Gents, where else can we take this? Do you have any pre-game rituals you like to do? Is there anything you sort of like to get yourself in the zone? Are you just a DM, an MG, or do you... I mean, I saw you playing some what's that?
Apex.
Apex?
Yeah, I mean, I play Apex a lot.
Okay.
Like during my free time, so, it's just comfy.
And that warms you up for TF2?
Well, it just won't, use your mouse. Like.
Okay.
It's like playing any other game. Eventually it's going to work.
I mean, I'd have to disagree a little bit, but...
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Just play some Dota, right? Like games?
Not before TF2, no, that's not my go-to.
Okay.
Okay, and finally, for Solentes, right? I think of you as quite a team player. So I've got history with you. We played back in the day.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a game where you are just destroying people? Every time you bomb in, it's med force, med dead, med dropped, but you lose the game? Or would you have an absolute rotten game, 2-25, but your team wins?
Oh, easily, like the rotten game, and we win. Like that feels like Soldier as it is,
Yeah.
You just jump up and die, and the team wins. Lucas and Toe, best players in the world by your own. That's what you say.
I said
That's
that.
what everyone says. Everyone says Toe and Lucas best players in the world. Ixie's best player in the world. Papi's best player in the world. I'm Chud. I'm Chud on Soldier these days.
Really?
That's the word in the street. No, I don't think so. I think I'm owning. It's like I don't know. The same people who say it, the same people who will lose to me in situations where it's even if it's 1v1 and they'll still call me bad. So I don't know.
Okay,
Kind of
okay. I lied. Final question.
Oh, right.
Do you, Solentes,
Yeah.
as the roamer on Witness, do you think the roamers here at LAN are stronger or the pockets? Is there an imbalance? Are they kind of on the same level?
I mean, the line between them is so blurred now that everyone is just a soldier. It feels like everyone. I think I really like watching Jay. I think Jay's awesome. So
Okay.
if there was one that stood out, Jay and Ryan stand out.
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan's good as well. I think.
Okay.
But yeah, Jay especially. I was standing behind him yesterday, and it's just fun to watch him. He has funny comms. So like,
Funny comms. That's what makes him good.
no, he's good on top of having. It's all the Americans have the funny comms, the way they comm. It's like a nice energy, I guess.
Perfect.
But yeah, big fan.
Thank you for joining me, boys. This was Condex Corner. Condex Corner? Condogs Corner. We'll see you next time. Welcome back to Condogs Corner. I'm here with the boys from White Lotus. We got Caps, or Chris, I don't know what you're going with these days, and we have Skis down the end. How you doing today, gents? You know, second day of LAN.
Yeah, good. How
are you feeling?
Doing good, ready to game.
Obviously, your first day was not as crispy clean as I think you were hoping for. You know, you had the 3-all draw to Mandem. Did the rest of the day go kind of as you were expecting? How are we feeling after it?
I think, even though we played WGU, it's been a while, so you expect some some change. Mandem we've never played before. The team with bomb mode on it we'd never played before. So it's kind of just, let's see what they look like, And you look at them before LAN, going into, but it's different being in the server and actually playing against it. So I think groups is a lot about just observing and getting a feel for it, and that's all it is. I don't think we really paid too much attention to the score or the outcome because really it doesn't matter.
Okay. Skis, were there any sort of notable players you've been paying attention to? Anyone that shocked you a little bit? Any big names that are kind of coming out of nowhere?
Respectfully to everyone else, heading into this LAN, I only knew the WGU players.
Just, you hadn't heard of the Elf? Fancy Elf?
I mean, people talk about him, but I didn't know how he played or anything. You watch him online, it's totally different than actually playing against them. I mean, even then, the last time I played against WGE, it was I-65, and it was Lucas, Tomas, and Papi, and the other 3 were different. So their core is still the same, but it's been a while since I played against any Europeans. Yesterday, just feeling them out. Anyone notable? Not really. It's just TF2, playing groups, feeling them out, playing the game. That's about it.
It's all just a bit random, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
That's the TF2. That's the TF2 we love. If we take a little look forwards into the bracket, do you know who you got coming up? I mean, your first game should be a fairly easy one, right?
Yeah, we play against Junu's team. I forgot their team name.
Wow, they really don't care, these Americans. Look at that.
Junu's team, and then we play WGU if they win their match next.
Okay.
So, yeah, early matchup.
How are we feeling about that? Obviously, we're going to be going to a BO3 this time. Yesterday, it was all BO1s. It was just bang, 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 bang. BO3s, do you think you can...
I'll answer.
Do you think it will play more into your favor, or are you more kind of like a 50-50 coin flip team?
Go first? Sure.
I don't want to... We're trying, we're not showing up to just mess around,
You're here to win, right?
Yeah. So I think, Skis has been to a lot of LANs. I've been my fair share of LANs. You kind of develop a preference to how you want to treat each day, to how you want to treat each stage of it. So totally preference. Every team can kind of take, have their own approach. We're following ours, and I think we're confident going into this day. You kind of have to be, when it's anything competitive, right? So that's where we're following. Day one was, like we said, kind of just observing.
Experimentary, seeing what's around, seeing who the sort of the bigger teams are.
Yeah, going in before the Mandan game, it's like everyone hypes up the fancy fella. It's like, all right, let's go see let's go see what Fancy's got. And so you kind of just want to see it, right? And so, but it is groups, it's different, the way that you go into a group's best of 1 to the playoffs, best of 3 or whatever, you treat it differently. So I don't want to get too specific. But I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense, Caps. I get you. It's different days. You treat them differently as you kind of come into LAN. Skis, obviously, you're not the only Americans here at this LAN. You know, there's a few other big names here. Let's talk about Bot Mode, maybe. What do you think of his team? You know, is that a team that you think could contend for top 3, or do you think they're just a bunch of scrubs that aren't even going to make it far?
It's hard to say. We scrim them, but like scrims are scrims, groups are groups, you know. Everything's totally different when it's like the real config and BO3s. Because like yesterday's game against Mandem was a 3-3. Who cares? Just go next. But Bomo's team, we're in the same room as them, which is bad planning, by the way. But we haven't really been watching too much. Kind of just been doing our own thing. We shouldn't. They're on the opposite side of the bracket, so when we see them, we'll see them. It's always going to be totally different. NA LAN, you're used to playing the other teams, scrimming the other teams. And then the European LAN, like I've never played against any of these guys.
Yeah.
Again, it's been 6 years since I-65, however long it's been. It's been a while.
Long time.
I've changed as a player. The Europeans I did play against back then have changed as players. Hopefully you guys can still hear me.
Anyway, we'll end it there. Thanks for joining me, gents. That was some funny stuff at the end there. And that was Condog's Corner. We'll see you next time.
Welcome back to poLANd 2026. I'm Tabs. I'm joined on the couch this time with Domaytoe. Still got dmoule on here, and we've joined by Smile. Welcome, Smile. Welcome, Domaytoe. Domaytoe, we're now in the upper bracket semi-final, so it's going to be a bit of El Clasico EU versus NA. It's going to be exciting, right?
The high echelons are reached. We have the strongest European team and the strongest NA team on LAN. That is an important differentiation to make maybe, but you know, White Lotus definitely pulled through yesterday. Mandem, close matchup, 3-3. Samurais though, taking it to them, also not a full whitewash, 4-2. So that is an interesting choice, honestly, to see how those two teams are matching up together. But maybe my brain gamers sitting to the left of me have predictions and concrete takes, hot takes.
dmoule, obviously, man, this echo's strong. And these two teams haven't really seen each other, but White Lotus are kind of struggling a little bit playing against these other teams here and there, whilst Witness Gaming, they have been kind of coasting all LAN. Now that they actually meet each other, is it more like rock, paper, scissors? Do you think they'll feel a bit more countered or feel more comfortable against one another? Or is it still going to be kind of a tough game for White Lotus that they've been having all LAN?
Let's be honest. Witness is going to wipe them out. I don't see White Lotus putting any threats to them. Like, I think they screamed. I mean, it's a scream, right? They screamed a bit. Papi and the rest were just cozy. They have I've heard some rumors. There's a widely appreciated strat, which is just bomb 2 soldiers onto skis, and it's been pretty good so far.
Now, Smile, I want you to try your best to combat the echo that you're going to hear in your words. But you haven't played it off against White Lotus at all, but you've played plenty of times against Witness. Actually, you're one of the few people on this couch that has seen some success against Witness at a LAN event. What's the secret sauce? How do you play against this team?
I mean, I think the main thing that worked for us last Uberfest, we didn't beat them, obviously. We had some close games. Was just, I don't know, we tried to take initiative. I think what Witness are like the best at in the world is just like their pressures are like crazy good. Like it's really hard to withstand just a 6v6 stalemate with them like peeking all the doors and putting spam out and these situations like you want to avoid if you can. You want to like have everyone on your team making plays, doing stuff. And I mean the Americans are known for that, but I think that I think it's just they have kind of bad matchups on the different classes. I think Witness are stronger on like pretty much every role. So. I think it will be very hard for the Americans. I think they might take a couple of rounds, but I think it's gonna come down to the win difference, like 5-0 or 5-2 or something like this for Witness. Yeah.
dmoule, Smile does make a wonderful point. Witness Gaming thrive against all these EU teams because they know them really well, but they don't really know White Lotus too much. Is there anything that you think you could blindside them a bit? Like any players maybe that might be caught off guard?
No, I don't think so. Like, I'll be honest, I don't see White Lotus putting I don't see them at all. Like, they're pretty stressed as well, as far as I know. I've heard some rumors.
Oh,
you know?
yes. You're talking about the little note on the door.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, if you're not with us, if you just go joining us in the Twitch chat, basically, you can roam about at LAN, you can enter the rooms of these players, but this very room that, well, okay, maybe it's not, this is the witness room, but in the other opposing room, they put a keep out sign, you know, only NAs only, it seems, and I was disappointed. I like to watch the POVs personally, you know, enjoy the communications between teams, but they're a bit rattled by from the NA lot. Do you think this is kind of thing at LAN that like tilts a team? Is it a good sign, a bad sign? Are they locked in, or are they just too sensitive?
It is definitely a bad sign. Like, if you are going to LAN and you are quote-to-quote disturbed by people crossing paths behind you, or even the heat. I mean, the heat is another thing, but yeah, like. They're not locked in. That's what I meant.
Domaytoe.
I will follow this up instantly. I don't know, because I wasn't across the pond to an LAN yet, but you know what I always see: polished LAN venues, everything quite tidy, and I think even on poLANd this year it is more tidy than last year, but it's the bear pit. I have described this. You know, people are behind you, they're breathing down your neck. It's just a test of strength, stamina, and mindset.
So you believe that the LAN pressure, the sort of just being watched, having all your mistakes shown, like it kind of distracts these players, especially White Lotus.
I mean, as we also peer toward once more this bit of a segmented profile picture, you might even say, or team profile picture, then you could say they're in shambles, quite literally, not even metaphorically speaking. But I mean, we saw from Jay yesterday, and you know, once something rhymes, that is always correct. So we saw from Jay yesterday, he was on 11Ks against Cake Minion Summarize, for example, on Product. But Witness Gaming, they don't allow this at all. You know, if like that's your prodigy, well, that's nice. But if he jumps into, for example, on Product, let's say Ixie and Thomas, unfortunately, he's absolutely, I'm not going to say swear words, but absolutely rubbed off the sky, and they have no initiative.
dmoule, it might be me thinking I'm a bit spoiled here, but the NA's come over. It's like a nice breath of fresh air, because obviously we don't really get to see them too much. We don't get to see their brand of TF2. We don't get to see their brand of players, and there's some players I'm a big fan of. Like this Jay guy is pretty cracked, right?
Yeah, Jay is insane, and it's the first time he plays in a code-to-code team as a roamer as well. He pretty much only played Pocket Soldier. He hangs out around as a Pocket Scout and Flank Scout. His Flank Scout is phenomenal, by the way. But yeah, and apparently, I don't know if it's recency bias, but from what I've heard from Caps, Chris, his roamer is miles better than his pocket. Maybe not miles better, but as far as I know, they like his roamer more than his pocket.
Smile. Obviously, I'm but a plebeian compared to these Prem minds and obviously these Prem LAN gamers. Is there anything about any of these players from Witness or White Lotus that, you know, the average pleb misses? Like, what's something that we don't appreciate about these teams and what makes them so, you know, fabled?
I mean, I can't really speak much on White Lotus. Like, as for Witness, I think... I mean, they're just so like organized. They've played so many LANs. They show up before they boot camp, like all this stuff. They just seem like they're just like way more prepared than anyone else, and they also, you know, put in more work. And I think it just shows like they play like so like synergized. It's I mean, it's kind of hard to just put words on it if you haven't like played against them. You know, like when you play against Witness, you kind of like you just feel like it's kind of hopeless. Sometimes the pressure is just like. It's like too much. There's not really anything you can do, like any way you can react to you know, like counter it.
Speaking as a player, like from the roadmap of things, I still want to hear from you, Smile. So you're traveling up, you're in the playoff stages. What is the roadmap, the best success? Do you want to start winning all your upper bracket games? Is that the best path? Or do you like to play in the low bracket and get a bit more TF2 in, personally?
I mean, I've never been on like a top team like Witness or, you know, all the LANs I've played have been like through the lower bracket, because you eventually run into like a Witness Gaming or, you know, like a like a man them and get knocked down. Or at least in my case. But I think even though there's like this argument that the lower bracket is somehow better because you get more games, I don't really agree with it. I think if you can get through the upper bracket, it's just a more like fail-safe way of winning, and you also get a bit more time and to just relax and maybe talk about games and prepare for your opponents as well. So.
Well, fortunately for you, Smile, we can relax you on the couch now. It's permanent relaxation here. Take in the maps as we're going to be going into our best of 3. So it's map picks and bans as per usual. So the first 2 bans rolling out. That is a ban of Gully Wash for White Lotus, if you can't see the little avatar in the corner, and a ban from Bagel for Witness. And then our first map pick for Witness on Granary. Any reactions here, Smile?
I mean, Granary is obviously. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, Witness have like a really strong map pool, like all the way around. Granary is like when we played Uberfest last time. That was the map we struggled the most on against them, and our product comes through as well. That's. I mean, yeah, Granary product against Witness Gaming is always hard. Like, those are two of the maps they're probably strongest on, I think. Yeah, but then I don't know the map pool of the Americans too well. But I mean, I know that Witness are strong on these maps, so. Yeah, but they have like such a wide map pool. A Witness is kind of hard to like find a gap, like a good pick against them, I guess. Yeah, and then Metalworks last. I mean, again, it's a good map for Witness. I mean, Americans are known for Metalworks. It's like been in their like pool forever. I'm not sure like how that will play out, but I don't think we're going to the third map anyways. So yeah.
Well, that's a strong words. dmoule. This is Witness Gaming's first test in the progressive rule set. So obviously this is the one advantage that NA has over Witness, is they're a bit more familiar with this rule set compared to their EU compadres. Is there any sort of like abuse that do you think the NA people can use, or maybe experience they could use from this rule set against Witness?
I don't think so. I don't see any advantages that they could have. Like the Americans, I'll be honest. Like I'm watching the map right now. It's a 2-0. It's a straight 2-0 for Witness. I'm surprised that they banned Sunshine at the end. The Americans. I think, in my opinion, if there's a weaker map for Witness, it's a Sunshine. They've been tested a bit on this map by the past. Product. They picked product. For me, it's the best map of Witness. Sorry, and despite I know the American players are like the coughs are way better in their region. That they are way better at cough in their region. I don't think that's true. I think Witness proved them in the past that they are very capable, at least on product. Bagel is another argument, I guess, but nah, mistake.
Fair enough. Domaytoe, these
all my talking points ripped away from me, and honestly, it's always what I just want to, pin down on the fact. Yeah, Americans think they're good on product. We can ask them after the game if they still think they're good on product if they go down 4-0, because now you have to play until the 4 and probably don't even get time on the clock here. It's. I don't see anyone diffing Ixi and Thomas on scouts on that map. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just about to ask you, Domaytoe, like, you've obviously been talking to all our players, you've obviously been around the scene for a while, but it's kind of a boomer opinion about, like, this product, it's the wild, like, card pick. It's like, oh, we don't know what we're doing, we'll just DM it, and then they pick product. Is that, like, an archaic way of thinking, or is there still some truth to that?
I wouldn't say archaic, I would say those are antique antics that still are formed in the minds of those players. Especially, it's a different approach. We saw that yesterday when they played against minions, or samurais rather, White Lotus. They seemed to way more focus on their soldiers, honestly. I saw a lot out of Jay. I also saw Logan diffing Mac. But I mean, I am here to be proven wrong. I don't see Lucas Tank being well diffed by Logan. But if that is going to be their storyline, then that's one hell of a storyline.
Seems like we've got a bit more time here before the teams and players are ready. Apparently they were threatening to go ready, but now then I don't see them starting that quickly. But dmoule, how does a team learn about their map pool, like during a LAN event? Is it actually literally from the previous game, or is it like from a huge row of scrims or data, or is it like a lot of anti-stratting? Like, Is it literally coming down as simple as like maybe White Lotus looking at the Kek Minyoin Samurai game previously and went like, yeah, that went all right. We'll just do that again.
I think you're making a good point, actually. Like, you have some preparation before LAN, of course, like through scrims and seasons. But the way you see some maps could change when you play actually in LAN. Some people will prefer some maps, of course, and if they come across some difficulties, they will literally wipe that map out of their draft, which is, I don't think it's the right way. I'm like, personally, I'm stubborn. I like to keep on playing the same, the same map we had success at by the past, but some people see it another way.
Smile, what does it take for a team to not believe in the map anymore? Like, what kind of loss needs to happen? Like, if you had a close game but it was a loss, is that still enough to like wipe it away from your favored list, or does it have to be something quite devastating to happen to lose confidence in a map?
I mean, it kind of depends on the team. I think like if you have a team like say like Witness Gaming, 4Fence, like these obviously 4Fence aren't here, but like as an example for a team that's like kind of been around for a long time, I think it's probably like you have like a set list of maps that you're more comfortable on. So I think like a bad game at LAN is not going to change your decision on like map picks. Like the teams I've played on at LAN as well have been kind of like one season teams. So I guess like under those circumstances you're more prone to kind of make more like quick decisions about like banning a map based on like a bad game and so on. But I think for a team like like Witness, I think they've probably talked about it before going into LAN. I don't think they're going to really change their like decisions about the veto or anything because they have like a bad game against the Americans. I think they're like comfortable in their map pool, and they probably already talked about this stuff beforehand. So I don't think you're going to see them like change their their bans and so on for the LAN.
Magical team, Magical, thank you very much for your opinions. I'm going to get one last little bit from you, and that's just a prediction, a little scoreline for the map for funsies. What do you think this first map of Granary is going to go? Give me a score.
Sure. Granary, I think, will be 5-1 Witness Gaming. And then I think Product will be a 4-2. It is the 4, right? I didn't watch the lands.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Right, yeah. So 4-2 for Witness. I think Americans maybe get a couple of rounds, but I don't think... I think Witness will be ahead the entire game.
All right. dmoule, if you could just give me a little scoreline and prediction, who's going to win this Granary?
Yeah, I'll probably be wrong again, but I'm going to throw a random 5-0 for Witness. And for Product, I think it's going to be a 4-1. I can see some magic from DNA.
All right, and quick 2 numbers and we'll go.
2 numbers, I go 4, 5-0 and 4-0. Unfortunately not Metalworks, because this is sometimes how you crack down Witness Gaming if you would just alter the mid-fight, but they will not see that last map.
All right, we're going to casters. Throw it away. Let's go, Wandem and Ben.
Thank you very much, Turbo Tabs. I'm excited, Ben. This, I think, looking at the LAN on paper, is the matchup that we all came to see. America's 6 finest versus Europe's best. It's the reigning world champion, Witness Gaming. Let's remind the audience of the stakes here very, very quickly. No European team has ever won 2 international LANs in a row, and we're about to see if Witness can make that first step to be the first repeat successors. We're live here for map number 1. It's White Lotus trying to take it to Witness Gaming. We're in on Granary. It's the first mid already. Lucas has to drop down for a pack.
See which the demos wins at the spam wall. Logan versus Lucas currently peppering each other across this mid. Soldiers circling on both these sides. High bomb comes in from Silenta, just landing onto the lamp, jumping back around to the team. Bit of a cagey affair, both just jostling for position at the moment. High Five bombs in, good bit of damage, but is now out of the fight over in Garage. So the Klaxon come in. High Five actually cleaned up by Ixie, and that 1 pick advantage could be crucial for Silentes with monster damage.
And it's followed up so beautifully by Papi. The HP from White Lotus is nowhere to be found anymore. It's just 18 HP, Jay, so he is going to go to the oldest hiding spot, I think, in all of TF2. No, never mind. 3 HP now. Instead, he's going to run back in onto second. And that is an extraordinarily rare mid-fight victory with full Uber out on Granary.
Magical stuff. Silentes, the timing was perfect. The retreat was just underway because High Five had gone down, and Silentes crunches in from behind, and the rest of the team wash forward from the front. Magnificent stuff for Witness, but now they have to convert this push.
have to convert it. You can see the White Lotus not really looking to contest second at all. They're going to be sat in on their last. They've got an engineer up trying to build up this gun. Chris's gun is going to have to do a lot of work. This is a classic Witness push. It is Lucas Ubered forwards and actually just managed to find the gun. But he has to jump over, so now it's a lot of damage raining down, and he finds so much damage. But unfortunately, he's not cleaned up. The air shot doesn't ring true either. And so Witness are surging forwards, and they're not finding the frags. 1 kill for Tomas is a decent start, but he's left alone here in on this point. And that is the White Lotus holding on for now. A lot of damage dealt to Auto, 11 HP. But just about surfs out.
Oh, scary moment there for Auto, the Witness Gaming medic, almost getting caught on the way out. But what a hold that was from White Lotus. Lucas, we see him time and time again on these last pushes. He bombs across the other spawn, but this time he was blocked off. This time he was blasted away, and he couldn't quite find the extra bit of damage.
White Lotus now with a bit of an Ubercharge advantage, but Sneeze drops to a sticky trap from Lucas. And that is the advantage flipped immediately now. Such a big advantage for the side of Witness. You can see them jumping in just through choke. And there is no presence from the White Lotus, and that ruins everything for them.
Looked so good for White Lotus, but completely caught out of the blue. And now, no heals, no buffs even for this push. The push can even come in. Second point already getting capped up, but pressure already coming in from these shutters. Witness Gaming, they failed one last push already, but do they ever fail 2 in a row?
Have to see. You can see them already going for the exact same push. Once again, it is Lucas forwards, and this time the gun's only at level 2, so it's going to be gone instantly. Second Sticky can come in. Papi does a lot of damage as Lucas looks to follow up, but the pipes don't quite work. Instead, it's once again the enemy scouts cleaning house, but with a skis pick already, it's just Slemnish with a 5k finding absolutely everyone. Chris finds 2 of his own, and he just barely hold on again.
Left side pushes just aren't quite working out, are they, for Witness Gaming? Again, we saw Lucas struggling to find impacts. We see a lot of the time he's bombing and he's able to lock out that spawn, but White Lotus, they're all too aware, they're already out of there, and they're getting their scouts in good positions. And like you said, Sleb, what a cleanup that was.
Huge performance from him. We're going to need to see them keep this up if they want to take it to Witness now. Managing to evacuate out onto their yard. Pushing in on to mid is a whole different beast. It's about even maneuvers for the moment. You can see High Five sort of peeking ramp room. Unable to find any picks. You can see Logan as well, just trying to send these pot shots, but Witness not giving anything. Just a counter aggression from Syl, alleviating the pressure, but nothing happening. Except look, there's a rotating over to choke.
Enters the first one to try and break the deadlock. Misses the speed shot though. Nice effort. It's a bit of a low-risk play, sending that one soldier in. It's all in now with a White Lotus. Rest, and actually they're thinking about doing it. You know, they've got players in from choke. Chris really aggressive with left-hand side. Logan.
Oh, the soldiers
are in. Jay tries to get into auto, doesn't quite find enough damage. Lucas takes a whole lot of spam, but they're collapsing on White Lotus, losing 2 players to the hands of Tomas. And now it's a really dangerous situation because I think Witness Gaming, they're going to want to push on this.
Logan hits some crucial little stickies and pipes that to actually wave off the initial wave of aggression from the side of Witness. It is just Logan managing to just barely hold on, and he's so back on to second, at least for the moment. But Tomas, you can see him buffing up already. So Witness tapping that second control point of Granary. There's 2 more to go here. Now back onto the real second, and it is spam coming across from Lucas. A lot of damage dealt, actually. So much damage. Logan is super low. This is just White Lotus getting pelted, but Lucas is the first one to fall.
Hey, good stuff from White Lotus. They got their spawners just in time. We're able to lock out and yes, get that all-important kill on his Lucas. Ubercharge trade now in the yard. Tomas going to pick the fight with Slemnish. Actually gets out and away, gets a flash up in the top of Lunchbox. And when these Ubercharges fade, will White Lotus decide to stay in? Will they decide to fight? And Chris definitely wants to fight, charging forward, nearly getting the kill in onto Papi. But look at the collapse. The risk was taken by White Lotus. They are taking so much damage.
Slemnish is doing absolutely everything for his team right now. He's 8 kills deep in onto this life, but unfortunately has to back off for the moment. Witness Gaming losing those 2 picks means that they can't really fully aggressive onto last, I think, how they would prefer to. You can see Lucas actually wants to go in anyway. Might be a bit of a sack in onto skis. He's so far up. Soldiers in as well, coming in forwards onto skis, but he's managing to hold on. So now you're down a demo, you're down a scout, and you're down a soldier. Witness have to just try and tank Papi in onto this point.
Said that Granary was a slow and boring map. This is electric stuff from these 2 teams. And look, White Lotus still getting spammed. There's only 3 Witness players alive, and they do not want to give up this yard area. They're all the way backed up now. And Jay doesn't manage to find anything on the way through. White Lotus might be able to stabilize in yard once more. But this is crazy, crazy fast gameplay for Granary.
We're right back where we started as well. Now even Ubers either side of Granary middle. White Lotus once again just looking at Witness trying to spam. Earlier on it was this initial Salentis bomb in through choke that let Witness Gaming through. You can see Papi now manning the door instead. Just trying to send spam through. You want to get skis just that little bit low before you actually commit. But there we go. Logan Stickies finds Salentes. I think that's a play called off. You can see Witness now backing off. Stickies from Lucas trying to dissuade the opponents from attacking, but Chris is so far in through that choke point. And the Soldier of Jay is in as well, but that is just Ixie on height. And you can't contest him there.
Have to be careful on White Lotus, because last time around when they got that one pick advantage and walked forward, that's when things started collapsing. That's when the problems started for White Lotus. But now, you know, point still in their control, yard still in their control. They are a soldier down, so Witness Gaming with this extra bit of space might look to just walk in. Look at Thomas, he's taking aggressive stances.
He's so far in through choke, and it's actually just a kill onto Logan. The Witness pressure once again comes in. Papi's in, and he manages to find the bomb. Now, it is so many low health bars on either side, to be honest, because that's a dead Lucas. So the scouts of Witness are going to have to do the heavy lifting as the enemy are retreating. It is one scout in through Zed, and he has not been spotted yet. Slemnish on a 10k now is looking for just a little bit more, but they get the Uber Force out of Auto. But is it enough? There's just 2 left alive, and it's Ixie cleaning everyone up. It's 5 kills for him. And he's down, stuck on second. They have such long spawn timers here. Witness are all up. It's all on high five. And he misses the rocket. Salentis finds another kill. And it's Witness looking to come in onto last. There's no one alive here for White Lotus. And that is not a clean, but it is a round 1 victory for Witness Gaming.
Fabulous stuff, particularly in Ixie. He's probably the best flank scout in the world at coming in onto the combo when needed. Takes the push forward with Auto and really precise scattergun shots. Those medium range shots, but chipping 40, 50, 60 damage onto the retreating Medic and Scout. And that's enough to clean up the first round. It's taken a while, a couple of failed Ubers, but Witness show that even in transition, they can catch White Lotus.
Back onto middle. Once again, you can see both demos preferring that height, but Logan has to cancel the pack. Lucas had a sticky ready for him just that little bit earlier. So now the immediate aggression is actually starting out. It's very early soldier bombs here from Witness. Salentis has snuck his way forwards and getting early damage onto skis as Lucas is going to find 1 kill. It's not enough. The scouts from the side of White Lotus are doing everything again. It is 2 frags for them as High Five is just looking to chase, and Thomas might be forced to give up his life to keep his medic alive as he runs all the way back alive. He is so disjointed. But they do keep Auto alive. They are not the side of the map they want to be.
First 10 minutes we've tested the White Lotus holds. Now it's time to test the Witness Gaming ones, because White Lotus, with that really impressive mid-fight win, earned themselves a crack at the last point. And the High Five doesn't even care about last. He was again hits these shots in onto Auto. It might have been a splash, but it's enough to force regardless. And now is where White Lotus can look to pressure in. No Uber for Auto. Thomas already on Sniper. This is the last hold.
They found a kill early onto Salentis as well, so Thomas on the Sniper needs to find a shot, and he does straight onto Logan, but a counter kill immediately comes out on Lucas Tank, and that means that Papi's dead as well. With 2 players down, you're still forced to cap. It's taking a while, and that means that Thomas gets another shot in onto skis, doesn't quite hit it, but they're just running down the timer. It's a beautiful headshot onto Slemnish, and that's another kill onto Chris, and unfortunately White Lotus, they just don't get in time. High Five! Finds the frag there onto Auto in the end.
Really nice salvage. You saw High Five kicked it all off in the beginning with the force onto Auto, gets the kill, and now it means White Lotus, even if they can see the second point, they are able to come back in with the charge advantage, but maybe not for long, because Salentis bombs in, 1 rocket behind, second rocket, the splash, the third hits, and skis goes down!
Immediately though, Logan has found a 2k every single pipe connecting, and so that means there's only 3 players alive on Witness. They're going to have to do it all because there's already a soldier in behind them onto the point as Jay hits that rocket. So Papi left to do it alone. As Auto falls, it is the White Lotus responding, and we go back to 1-1.
Wow, absolutely crazy scenes there. Salentis, I thought he'd done enough. The air shot connected onto skis, but that was all they found on Witness Gaming. White Lotus doing enough, getting themselves in onto last, and equalising this in a really back and forth start here on Granary.
This is not the start you're looking for if you are Witness Gaming. That sticky initially from Logan. start he's looking for. He's looking to roll out on to middle once again, but yeah. Very nice response. I'm so impressed with the Red Scouts this game. Slemish is having himself a masterclass. Back in onto middle, it's High Five this time around, also bombing very deep. But it's Jay the first casualty here onto middle. But look at the positioning that the White Lotus have. It is Witness forced to try and scramble in for any kind of position. Skis is so low, but he runs directly into the pickaxe of Silentes. And with Auto still alive on 40 HP, there is no one there to chase him. So Witness Gaming are going to lose the mid, but they have such huge advantage here that they can run it right back when they get their spawners.
They might even be waiting for that, because look at Thomas. He's already up to garage. They really want to chase this. They really want to get in. Strap is disbanded currently, but not actually, because Logan comes in with a really nice pipe. And okay, it was an aggressive call from Thomas to go in like that, 2v2 with the Uber charge, but Auto stayed alive. That's the important part for Witness.
But now, I mean, they have this advantage they want to work with, right? They're down a scout player, losing him before the push even begins. That means that you can see Witness still want to go off this ad. It is Lucas sending it straight in onto Ramp Room, and there's a lot of initial damage dealt. But unfortunately, they're not finding the frags. The Vledge soldiers are in on behind them, and he can just drop down once again as High Five coming into the enemy combo, finding another kill. Unfortunately, it's Witness crumbling at the seams here. Early damage, though, coming across as Jay and High Five both taken care of. It's Ixie trying to do a lot of work, but look at the combo coming forwards. Thomas does not find the kill onto Skis, and the White Lotus are looking to go onto second, and they have such a big advantage.
Alarm bells now for Witness Gaming. They're caught on last. Ubercharge is up and ready for the White Lotus, but Sniper is in from Silentes, who does 140 damage, but it's not enough to get the drop onto Skis. And the Uber comes in. White Lotus just cap up the completely free point. That drop may have made a difference, but honestly, there was so few players alive for Witness, it may have even not.
That whole round just a bit disjointed for them, to be honest. You could tell Thomas knew exactly what he wanted to do. You know what the rest of Witness wanted to do. They had a massive ad. Unfortunately, just Thomas a bit disconnected from his team. Gets dropped quite early. He's not there for the support the rest of the team. They put all of their baskets in the Lucas tank, and unfortunately he just doesn't drop the nuke. The cleanup, Jay and High Five in behind are so crucial here, and Witness are really struggling with dealing with them.
Absolutely, I'll see if this mid-fight is going to work any differently. White Lotus have looked very good the last two. This time High Five going to bomb in aggressively. Jay as well. Jay the first one to fall, but last time the claps came in regardless, and here Chris up on top doing a good amount of damage, but look at Silentes on the ground. Skis has gone down, and this is looking like a different fortune now for Witness Gaming.
They still have to keep that medic alive as Chris is sort of juking, dancing in and around the crates, but just backing off. So 3 members alive, all of them so low. Logan just has traps on second, should be cleared out. But Witness Gaming now sizable Uber advantage here, coming in onto second. There's going to be players alive from the enemy's side. Jay's actually sitting very aggressively here in onto Lunchbox. He's going to spot the enemy players coming at him. All that for his team. You're still playing down massive disadvantage here. You're really looking for any kind of force onto Witness.
Witness, they're looking to take this as cleanly and as quickly as they can, because yes, it's a lot of advantage, but they really don't want to be popping that Uber charge on second. They want to save it for last. They want to have another crack at it, but to be honest with Witness, they failed 2 out of 2 currently. So despite the fact they're getting themselves set up and losing in, can they do it differently this time around? Can they get in? Can they get this damage that they're looking for? Lucas not going to bother. It's all Silentes and Lucas connecting together, and on this high ground it looks like Witness, they're in a pretty good spot.
They completely wake up there. Everyone connects from the side of Witness, and they are uncontested on the point. They sacrifice Silentes and Papi, but once again we tie right back up. That is a dominant round from the side of Witness.
Really clean stuff. That's the kind of Uber push I was expecting from Witness in those previous ones. All the pieces working in tandem. Soldiers, demo, the Uber, like everything just connected perfectly. We saw Silentes coming in from above. Amazing cleanup on that soldier, and it just felt like White Lotus, they got a bit run ragged, they got a bit dragged apart, and well, they've equalized now, so game starts anew with 9 minutes left.
9 minutes plus extended time. As Logan unwilling to drop down to the pack, but he might have to. Down to 30 HP. Lucas trying to snipe him out. So Jay has a bomb to try and cover for it. Very beautiful rocket there onto Silentes, actually. But Papi's the first to fall here in Ramp Room. Silentes getting bombed once again. Witness have no height whatsoever. They commit so many resources to that early kill. Thomas tries to find a sticky bomb forwards in onto Skis, but can't find it. They're 3 down now. They have to back out.
Witness Gaming on the retreat, and they're getting chased as well. Look at High Five all the way forward. blocking out these players, and they might actually just want to take second completely, not just yards. And Witness, they completely have to respect this. They're all the way backed out. They don't want to get caught again. We saw high five before, getting that force onto auto. They're all too aware of the dangers of re-aggressing in onto seconds. So we're into the last hold. Even Ubers, Soldiers already looking to get in the one to Lucas.
Yeah, it's Lucas actually getting taken down as well. That's no Demo Man. That's no Sticks on point. And so it's even Uber, but actually Sentry's dead as well. It's a time 5 cap on the point, and Witness are nowhere to be found. With the Stickies gone and the 2 Soldiers, there's no one holding on anymore. And that's another round for the White Lotus.
Fantastic play from White Lotus. Again, they aggressed in, they sacked in, but they didn't sack for the mid. They sacked for the demo. 2 for 1, catching Lucas out. And like you say, no Sticks on the point. They know exactly what that means. They can get in, they can get some cap time, and they can get themselves the 1-round lead. White Lotus, they've come back with a vengeance in this game.
Maybe Witness suffering a bit from their own success, not really meeting any resistance at all in the group stage. White Lotus certainly feel like they are waking up for the moment. Had a bit of a scuffle with Joey Guns in their match before this, but they look all the better for it. As for the moment, Lentis up high. He's just going to bomb around to alleviate pressure for the rest of his team, open the space, as this is a 50 HP J in behind, but Witness have to keep in the back of their memories. But for now, it's actually a cleanup kill onto Ixie and onto Tomas. So many kills combining, but Skis is left alone in his choke, and there's no positioning whatsoever for the White Lotus. So they're down 3. Silenti's going to sit close onto this pack as the White Lotus look to re-aggress. He's going to flank and absolutely destroy Chris. He continues to march forwards as it's another kill onto Skis, and it's a pickaxe onto Logan. Silentes finds all 3, and now Witness, massive advantage in onto second.
Rolling back the years, it feels like we're back in 2016 with still hitting things like that. What a play to finish that mid.
Looking absolutely exquisite. There's some doubters of Sil sitting around there. Sitting around the place here in the venue. I know people fancying themselves some newer names, but for the moment, Sil looking absolutely excellent in this game. He's going to get buffed up as well. This is now Jay up on the sniper. Is going to have to find some kind of a miracle shot as once again the sentry gun is taken down by Lucas. Sticky's now the focus, and it is the point that is the focus. So much cap time coming out already, but as for the moment, it is the White Lotus trying to stabilize. 2 kills being found, but the health bar's just not there whatsoever. Witness maintain control of the high ground, and that means the kills will follow. It is back to a 3-3, but this whole time, it is always the White Lotus punching first.
It is, and that time though, on the last push, I feel like Witness, they've kind of adapted with this. They played the point, they played more territorially. Before we've seen Lucas bombing across aggressively, trying to go for killers. This time around, they were like, you know what, we're just going to control the pipes, we're going to start pressuring cap, and we will let the White Lotus come to us. And it's worked out well for them this time. Maybe that's a strategy they employ later on. But at 3-3, this is as close as it can get as we go into the final 5 minutes of this map.
We've seen already how fast these rounds can end, given a disastrous mid. Talk about one there. Lucas just destroys America as he finds 2. Logan doesn't even get to play this mid.
Shades of that Denver LAN Grand Final. Lucas absolutely tearing it up in this mid fight with 2 early frags, and Witness Gaming look to reap the rewards because they already have yard, and they might have second soon too.
No Demo Man and 1 soldier alive makes this such a difficult second for the White Lotus to hold, and Lucas is free to pelt down his opponent once again. It is so much damage onto high five, and he's almost taken down, stuck in a corner waiting for a bow, and he just gets picked off by Papi. So now with the scout down low as well, Lucas keeps barreling forwards, and Auto's aim is true. So Logan once again is down low and cleaned up by Tomas. It's an even Uber situation, but Steez is at 99% as his players keeps dying in front of him. They finally get the Uber, but it's 3 alive here. Tomas is just straight onto the point. The scouts have to do it all again. Sticky's being placed, and then his Witness surging forwards. Point half capped. Chris taking down already. Slemnish needs this solo Uber to stay in. He's going to find the 1 kill onto Ixie, but now the counter Uber can come out as the opponent phased. And unfortunately, the spawners are coming out for the White Lotus, and there might just be in time. It's Alentis and Papi both taken down. It is Logan coming through as well. So just Lucas left alive, finding the first kill onto Slemnish, but the pipes from Logan are good enough to respond.
Wow, outrageous hold from White Lotus, and again the scouts in these post fights. Slemnish once again dominating. Absolutely fabulous stuff. The Uber did just enough to hold on, just enough to wait for those spawners, and now White Lotus, they've got themselves out of their last. They've got themselves into second, but they haven't got any further because Skis went down during that Uber, so it's going to be an even stalemate.
Salentis is in up high. He's unspotted, and he's going to find himself a J-pick. That now means the positioning is so much more precarious for the side of the White Lotus. He's even going to snipe down the sentry gun. It's a high five low. Lucas takes second for free. The pressure can come out. So Lucas already peeking, sending stickies across. This sentry gun, they are not letting it be built by Slemnish. This is a Witness special. They will not let you set up your last hole, but Slemnish won't let you bomb his team either. So it's a first shot and doesn't quite hit the second auto. The Uber now comes out. Skis is at 100% just barely. And he manages to flash his team to success. Look at the health bars on the red side. They're not that pretty. And so Witness are going to look to heal up. Thomas wants to go forwards. It's a very low health soldier as Ixie's diving forwards in onto Logan. 200 damage dealt, but the arrows from Skis are good enough to keep him alive.
Wow, this push keeps on giving, it keeps on fighting. Thomas in on the spawn, gets taken down. Both scouts now down for Witness Gaming. White Lotus, it looks like hang on, they might do better because that was 149 damage onto Auto.
It is a miracle that Auto just barely stays alive, but it's unfortunately Lucas that's going to pay for it. 3 players down for the side of Witness, and the White Lotus are fighting out of their last. Salentes with a desperation sack doesn't find the kill onto Skis, and so now no demo man up on middle. Thomas looking to spring a trap in on second. He's just cleaned up by Slemnish. It is heroic performances from Slem and Logan keeping their team in this game on that last.
Oh my, it is an absolutely wild affair, isn't it? 3-3 still, 2 minutes left. We're not quite into next round wins territory, but we're not far from it. White Lotus getting themselves a mid-cap. And for the first time this game, we're going to see how their even Uber stalemates into enemy yard look. How are their sacks going to be? Where are they going to pressure from? What's the spam going to be? How do they break this focus?
For the moment, not much of anything, really, as they just kind of discuss where to go next. The spam just comes through onto Auto, but only doing about 10 damage. He's going to regen that instantly. So Logan free to shoot stickies and take pot shots, but not finding any kills. It's Lucas with the first response. Slemnish overstepping perhaps. He gets taken down. Question is, do Witness reply in return? They have this one scout pick to work with. That dangerous Slemnish sniper could be looming. It does come up. We've seen how dangerous this one is.
Plenty of headshots so far this LAN and in previous events, because Slemnish, when he's on form, can hit some wonder shots. But into Granary Yard, it's not the easiest place to snipe into. There's a couple of angles you can work with, but the soldiers can easily bomb you. You're really at risk of getting caught, but Slem are not sure, trying to creep in. The first shot's the surprise one. The first one's the one where Witness won't know the sniper exists, and the first one lands a body shot onto Thomas. But trading 1-for-1 because Chris was also caught, and Slemnish getting again.
Peeking from the other angle now, but it's a Lucas pipe that finds him post-mortem. So it is a 1-for-1 once again as that regulation timer slowly starts running out. But with no demo man on the side of Witness, look at how hard it is for them to hold onto this yard. So the soldiers have to bomb forwards aggressively, and that's easy pickings for Logan as he finds that kill onto Salentes. It is 11 seconds left on this regulation time. Runs it out. It's a burst of 4. It is Papi peeking aggressively here. Warden onto second. No further kills really fouled. Salentes is still down, and White Lotus looking to pressure Witness out of this point.
Next round wins. Next one takes it. May I remind you, this is Witness Gaming's map pick, and they're the ones currently being squeezed back by the White Lotus. Logan and co, Jay and High Five, all firing these explosives in, trying to get any damage that they can, but the Witness Gaming Fortress is holding tall at present.
They need to find some kind of angle to break this situation that they're finding themselves in as well. They're holding on to second, at least for the moment, right? About a minute left. They can reset this round, go back to mid. Their worries at least slightly relieved. But these are still stickies across, and you can see now White Lotus are just going to Uber forwards, try to take this trade, but they are not finding anything. Chris, unfortunately, doesn't find much. It is actually 2 kills onto Salentes and Papi upstairs. As High Five now in behind with the flank, and Lucas forced to turn back and deal with him. It is Witness forced back in onto last. High Five sacrifices his life for the cap on second. And look at Jay sitting high, not willing to go for the pick. The round timer worries are alleviated. It is still Jade super aggressive here on top.
Question now for Witness Gaming is, do they try and use the super advantage to get back into second? To me, Thomas thinking about it on this spam, but look at the damage coming here from Logan. Logan's just completely got into the lock and key on this left-hand side, and Skis quietly has got up to 70% Uber, but the Uber charge does finally come out onto Thomas. They're playing him behind. Slam on the cap! It's behind!
He's 1 HP! But he doesn't get cleaned up. Silentes barely finds the kill, so it's just Logan left on second. He can't find anything either. And from somewhere, Witness find themselves a complete wipe on second.
Witness Gaming do not go down that easily. They don't go down without a fight, and the spawn camp is already underway.
It's Lucas in alone. He's 50 HP. Might be, but careful. The fadeaway pipes. That is a very low set of soldiers, so High Five actually gets cleaned up here as well. There's no follow-up damage on this combo, so Witness have to be a bit careful. Thomas postured in a weird position here with Auto. They might be trapped in on second. It's the aggression coming forward as Papi's in with a counter wrap as well. And so suddenly it's pandemonium, but both sides are taking down crucially low. But it's Skeeve staying alive for the moment. Silentes trained it out as well. It's just a 50 HP Ixie with a low Lucas on middle as well. Skeeze has survived the ordeal and finds himself now with a massive advantage.
Massive advantage forced back across the map. Gonna have to cap up second as well. White Lotus, they live to fight another day, and again in these post fights it feels like they just have an edge, they just have something in these post fights. When the Ubers are down, they manage to coordinate, they manage to clutch up and win these fights time after time after time. And maybe Witness Gaming might have to slow down and respect this a bit, because the Uber charge is ready to fly in. White Lotus might be taking it.
They're looking to go for it, but it's early damage onto Skeeves, down to half HP. As he gets spammed forwards, he's just trying to cross this border, but it is so tough to actually get in onto mid. He's managed to do it successfully without popping. He now goes back to 100 HP. They've actually managed to find a kill onto Thomas as well. Silentes is in onto Skis and does get the force, and the rest of Witness nowhere to be found. It's just a very aggressive Lucas left to try and deal with the dregs of this Uber. And he actually does manage to get damage, but not the kill onto Skis. They're looking to keep this rolling. There's no demo alive. Ixie's left to build this, but they have to solo him in onto the point to hold.
This is a rather rough scenario now for Witness, because if they do get forced, they're going to be at like a 40 or 50 disadvantage. And actually, Papi, yeah, is trapped in onto Lunchbox, going to be taken down surely in a couple of moments. There we go. Ixie going to trade that one out for Cristo, and second point does fall the way of the White Lotus. On match point, there we say Jay comes in onto Silentes, 2 for 2. Players still scrapping back and forth on this second point. Witness still haven't used their Uber, and Thomas is now out of the fight. Ixie's gone behind. Can Skis get out of this one?
It's the Uber coming in.
Can they get onto Skis? Skis dodging, diving, ducking, weaving. Does stay up, but now the pistol is out,
11.
and Skis lives.
They just barely don't find the shot on Witness. So now it's left for Lucas alone. The Uber has faded, and Skis almost has one of his own. So 5 seconds is left for the White Lotus to get the remaining players back up alive, and they have such a huge advantage to work with. Witness are still so keen on taking this fight because there is not an engineer on last, as Ixie now finally spawns, but they still have to actually conquer this second. Papi playing it so aggressively, but Ixie now up on the engineer. He has to build a gun as fast as he can. Logan has a full Uber, and he's looking to send it straight in, not going for the gun immediately, sending stickies across, and there's so much damage onto him up on top, but he is saved. It's another kill onto Somas and Silentes as Chris is on the point uncontested, as finally some kills are coming out. It's 2 for Lucas, but he's the only one left alive, and that is map number 1 for White Lotus.
The world champions have been rattled, and on their own map pick, no less. 4 rounds to 3, back and forth, left and right, the entire match. But the Americans coming over, only meant to be the second team. They were meant to be behind Froyotech, but they have stepped up and done what Froyotech failed to do back in Denver. They've taken the map off of Witness. There's a long way to go, though.
Questions answered. I was considering myself a heavy White Lotus doubter after that first series they played today, not looking too hot. This is a classic Witness map. They are so good at Granary, but my god, those scouts and Logan played such a good game. I assume that I have a desk ready for me to take me through this game as TurboTabs, dmoule, Condog, maybe even an Alba. Not a Condog, just an Alba. Take it away, guys.
Hello, stream. Can you hear me? Can you remember where you were when Witness fell? dmoule, Your predictions are dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what can I say? But I like to be proven wrong. That was a really good match to watch. Really, really good. I'm as well a big doubter of the NA team, but so far, man, really good.
Domaytoe,
I'm also disproven, but in the most perfect way. Honestly, I can tell you where I also was not. I was not in the cabin of Witness Gaming because no one is allowed there. I was not allowed in the cabin of White Lotus. No one is allowed there. But honestly, I gotta admit, I also now have a few analytical points here to bring out. A few games I have seen Witness Gaming out-diffed and out-deathmatched, and that was one of those scenarios. Those last pushes crumbled down like wet cookies because they never seemed to hit, and what was also quite telling, they weren't able to force skis there. Like, Lucas jumps in, a scout rushes in, and they can't force a medic who's like on 20 HP. Like, where are the nerves there? What was happening, Alba?
Yeah, I was in an incredibly clutch situation there. I don't think Skis had the Uber yet, but yeah, keeping their med alive there was incredibly clutch. And yeah, it feels like obviously the Americans played well, but it felt like Witness weren't quite there, honestly. It's my consensus from it.
It felt like very high-risk TF2, or is it just me, Alba? Did it look like there was a lot of moments where, like, oh, Witness is like, oh, we'll just go in with you, but we're definitely going to kill the medic. You know, we don't miss. We're superior to everyone out there. And they're taking these very risky Ubers where there's only 2 people of their team alive, and if they don't kill that medic, it's kind of like round losing. And I felt like we saw that a couple of rounds. Or am I crazy?
Yeah, it was very fast-paced and scrappy. There was a lot of like incredibly scrappy fights that was quite hard to follow, honestly, like as a spectator.
Well, we've got the logs for you, so look at it a lot. Would you believe that Skis was actually dying a lot more than Auto? I think it was come down a little bit more to mid-fights. Mid-fights, I think the mantra of Witness Gaming was basically kill the medic, kill what you can, get Auto out. And it wasn't really working for them. Do you like that kind of mid, Domaytoe?
I mean, whether or not I like that mid, I can say post-factually or even in hindsight, you don't win that game. But I mean, obviously, the few dabbles I still have on that, I think White Lotus soldiers were more impactful, and those Witness Gaming soldiers only really shown on the mid itself, you know. But Skis dies more than twice the amount, and they still come out on top here. We even have Slamnish, nominally speaking, coming out on top. This guy has also been absolutely crazy on the damage, and we saw like 1 or 2 moments there where he completely outdivs Thomas, like in a close quarter scenario, like 1v1 and absolutely thrown into the dumpster. What else can we see here? Lucas tank not top damaging at all. It is Logan taking the primacy.
dmoule, let's talk about mid-fights. You and I like a good mid-fight. We like to break down, and I feel like that was the story of mid-fights this game. White Lotus very comfortably taking basically all the mid-fights in that game, but it looked like from a philosophy of Witness Gaming want to keep Auto alive at all costs. Is there such thing as too much of a cost to keep Auto alive?
I mean, I think that's a good way to see it, but the problem is that, okay, they kept Auto alive in that particular scenario, but other than that, Thomas was... I mean, the main problem I see from this game was Lucas and Thomas, and I guess Auto, they were not on the same page. I saw Lucas doing for way too many solo plays. Same for Thomas. I know how Thomas plays. Like, he likes to go for solo plays if X is spawning, so Auto will have a medic with him. But it was too scrappy. At some point, Lucas was trying to spawn camp, greedy. He tried to back out. He did some really good damage. He died though. Thomas had to commit to trade the frags, and they were already committed on the left with Auto. They were alone. They got sandwiched by the rest of the NA teams. I don't know. It's too scrappy in my opinion. That's not the Witness I see. As Papi would say, they're not playing normally.
So, in your opinion, this is more Witness are dropping the ball here than White Lotus are just playing another game?
I like to say that, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I think Witness did not play at their best, but I don't wanna.
Don't want to take away from White Lotus.
Yeah, I don't want to take what White Lotus did. I think they play really, really well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they're certainly doing well. Domaytoe, was there anybody in particular from White Lotus that you feel like this person's just playing like really, really good TF2?
Jay, we have mentioned him yesterday, and high five as well. High five with the pincers. I mean, you just broke down how they broke the mid fights, but especially when Witness pushed or when they got pushed, we saw a lot. High five basically being uncontested in top areas when Witness tried to go forward in a sort of sensible scenario. But again, something lacking in the comms, like the Witness Gaming Soldier gets shot out of the top area. High five comes in from behind, just has a lot of damage into a combo that tries then to once more leave. It was, again, not working. I can only repeat myself. Wonderfully, honestly curated and cultivated.
Do you think Witness are going to be kicking themselves over this Granary pick, Alba, or do you think it doesn't really matter? Like in these sort of best of 3 scenarios, you're supposed to be good at all these maps. So sometimes if you lose, you're supposed to sometimes lose at all these maps. Sometimes.
I feel like one thing that Witness has going for them is that they have a really strong map pool. Like they're pretty good at all of the maps, but I don't think they will be kicking themselves too much. They have 2 more maps that they can take. Then if they don't take it there, then they have the lower bracket, so they're not, on the verge of defeat here, so to say.
If you were, let's just, let's make up a scenario, make up a timeline here, and let's say Witness lose this game, and they are locked to the lower bracket. If you're Witness Gaming, are you devastated? Are you looking at your teammates kind of scornful, like taking the Banny method, getting the whip out and like, how dare you? Like, we should be doing better than this? Or is it better to kind of be like, it's okay, guys. We've got room. We can able to come back. It doesn't really matter. Or does it?
Obviously, they're going to be frustrated, but I feel like what I know of these guys, I think they will be more motivated from it and go into the lower bracket and try to get a good run there. But it would be interesting if that were to happen, because I feel like at every LAN, Witness has had the upper bracket final and the map pick advantage for the grand final. So that could be something interesting.
Oh, you just make the talking points for me. You just do. Domaytoe, I was going to lead into that, but Alba wonderfully put us on the path there. How nice is that map pick ban advantage from going in the upper bracket? Is it nice for teams, or does it not matter?
I mean, it is definitely nice, especially, I would have even said it's not that crucial, or has not been that crucial in the past for Witness Gaming. Obviously, the NA players are a bit more used to the fact that you gain an entire, basically, a rather big advantage, not even map pick advantage, just, like map win advantage, I should rather say. So I think it is going to lend into that narrative. I have another narrative, though, to bring up. Honesty also goes a long way, and I've heard that from Witness Gaming gamers. I don't insult people, I only quote people. And what Papi also assessed out of this game was White Lotus simply slayed the noobs, he said, and he was referring to 1 or 2 players on his own team where they sort of were, walking a bit peripatetically away. But now to come back to your question, I think it is going to, if White Lotus, for example, end up on this upper bracket route, that is definitely going to lend into their advantage. I mean, Witness Gaming do have a deep map pool, but you can slowly chip away at that, and apparently Granary is one where they can show a fight.
dmoule, I'm scared to ask for a prediction out of you, because you seem to be like the anti-crystal ball right now, but we've got another map coming up. I'm kind of missed. That game went by for so long. I was so ripped into it. I couldn't actually remember the map picks and bans. Does anyone remember the second map?
Product.
Ooh la la. Okay, so Product. Yep, these are the map picks and bans. Thank you, production, for reminding me. And, well, Product, we were a bit confused by the choice from White Lotus. People famously say that this is a very, very, very good Witness map pick. Is that still true, or do you think you could see some elements from that previous game that's put doubt in your mind in this Product pick?
Well, yeah, I have my doubts now, but in the past, Witness has been really good on this map, especially since Sil joined back the roster. I don't think it's particularly has to do something with Sil, but since then, whenever I played against them, I don't think I've won a single run against them. Like that just tells you how good they are. Like they are dominating, and but I don't know. I hang a bit around the NA streams. They think this NA team is gonna be really good on Product. So I don't know.
Domaytoe, Product, there's two camps, there's two wolves fighting in every team's heart. Do we run sniper? Do we not run sniper? And White Lotus have proven that they can do both, and I think they do prefer one wolf, but which wolf do you think that is? Is it the sniper wolf? Sniper wolf?
Slemnish. I think they are definitely going to try that route at some certain point, and even you don't only have to trust into one wolf, you know, you can get the whole group involved, which usually then is just Slemnish, sniper, oh no, back to scout, sniper, oh no, back to scout. So this is sometimes some disruption you can throw into the fray. I was, you know, already pointing on the horizon, for example, Metalworks or such, that is going to land into White Lotus. You can adapt the mid fights, you can alter them, maybe you can sucker punch Witness Gaming a little bit, but maybe here also on Product, that is a phenomenon.
Alba, I've got to know which camp you're in. Do you like the sniper? You hate the sniper on Product?
I mean, personally, people know me as a sniper player, but I don't enjoy sniping on Product that much. I don't.
Stressing, isn't it, being the sniper player on a Product?
Yeah, it is, and you have to hit your shots, otherwise you're doing nothing. So.
Especially if it's one of those teams where, like, yeah, we just center it all around our sniper, so I hope he's doing well this time. So when you have those sort of beefy games, or do you think at this level, like, the snipers are quite consistent, or can they even have bad games?
Yeah, of course, there's always going to be some nerves and stuff, and, you know, you're sitting on a LAN setup, you're not sitting at the comfort of your own home, your own desk and stuff like that. So, I mean, all these things come into play, but as you play a lot of games, as these guys have done, you get more and more used to the setup and everything. So I think we're going to see some really consistent sniping if we see it.
Now, not everybody's aware of, like, the LAN ping advantages of all the classes. We know the girl Classico things like soldiers are a bit more enabled, projectile classes are a bit enabled. But where does sniper fit that? Is it personal preference? Is it, you know, maybe just explain to the people out there that aren't aware of the LAN advantage?
So a lot of people are speaking about the 100 ping sniper and, like, hyping that up. I don't agree. I think that, like, low ping sniper is better because when you hit, you actually hit. Like 100 ping sniper, you miss, but it registers as a hit, kind of.
But yeah, let's throw the microphone straight to Mr. 91. I want to know, what do you think? Do you prefer sniping on LAN? Do you prefer sniping online?
Obviously, I prefer to snipe on LAN. Like, it's really good. It feels good. As Alba said, yeah, on 100 plus ping, you're kind of pulling your cursor away. You hope it's gonna hit. That's pretty much how it is. About Witness, they usually play cookie cutter. I saw them bringing Seal Sniper sometimes, and even Ixie going Sniper.
Interesting, interesting. All right, gentlemen, we're going to be going into our Product game very soon, so just a quick little scoreline out of all of you, and then we'll throw it over to our casters.
4-3 Witness.
4-3 Witness.
4-3. And now the crowd asks for who? Well, I will not leave that open for Witness Gaming, but White Lotus, I think, on the brink of maybe even taking it 2-0.
All right, White Lotus 4-3.
4-2 Witness.
4-2 Witness. I'm going to be the stalemate breaker. I think it's going to be a crushing 4-0 for Witness Gaming. All right, take it away, our casters.
Thank you very much, Turbo Tabs, for the wonderful analysis alongside the rest of the desk. You also did something, but I believe and I know that in my heart of hearts, they were just given stuff to say by the galaxy brain of Turbo Tabs.
Yeah, Turbo Tabs has the script at the end of the day, right? Like he
He's
knows
the one
what's
who
going to
wrote
happen
it, yeah.
already.
He knows exactly what's going to happen. But that was a Witness Gaming, I think, maybe taken a bit off guard. We walked out sort of alongside them. Papi kind of complaining a bit that he just lost his skis. He's going to have to respond now on map number 2. This is Witness Gaming. Not quite on their home turf. I know they usually don't really like a map of Product. You can see the very early bombs coming in from High Five already, as Jay as well, but it's Ixie, the first to fall. Papi tries to go in, alleviate pressure, hits the shot onto Slemnish, and it's still hitting onto skis.
Absolute carnage. We've picked up the second map where we've left off, haven't we, Juan? As it's an absolute massacre on both sides of this point, but it's a massacre that Witness Gaming seems to be coming out on top of. Auto lives, Skis does not. Witness Gaming lock out the first mid-fight and lock it out with a massive Uber advantage.
So Auto now going to be sat there in behind point, defended by Lucas and 2 scouts. Highfive's going to roll out on Cliff once again. They're going to be looking to send bombs forwards. I think we're looking at a bit of a sack wave, trying to set this up for the side of White Lotus, but so far just scouting out the situation to see where the enemy medic is, try to get Auto's Uber out, over, and done with. As actually, no, it's instead Tomas going for the trade. It's Lucas bombing in, just trying to kill Skis as they completely eliminate their target. High Five cleaned up in the post Uber as well, but now we've swapped sides. There's just so many Witness members sat on enemy cliff, and I think so far Tomas likes the odds. He's cleaned up Jay as well. The rest of the team forced and routed back into their spawn, and Witness looking so in control to start off this map.
The world champions don't go down without a fight, do they? And they have this point under lock and key at the start of product. Another slight Uber advantage this time. Auto not going to have for quite a while. So when the Uber chargers are up and ready, it's going to be Auto there first. Point capture, a bit of it coming through. Bomb comes in behind. High Five doesn't quite get the air shot as that kill is taken away from in front of his eyes. But Ixie and Lucas combine with an important kill into Chris. And look at the retreating players over in White Lotus. They might be getting caught.
There's a scout straight in onto him. He's just so caught out as Ixie is cleaning up everyone. Finally, Jay shuts him down. It's a nice little rocket onto Tomas as well. But unfortunately, the pack is there to save him. So he has once again to back off into spawn, and Auto still 100% Uber. Skis at a measly 12. They're rolling out now. Witness not going for the forward hold, but they've already eked 2 minutes off at this point. So Spam's going to come out as White Lotus once again looking to get some kind of a force going. Soldiers sat up high, another in connector, taking a 1v1, early damage onto Tomas, but he gets just healed up as J bombs forwards, does get the force out, and so now Tomas left to scramble, but Skis once again caught out, and he is just getting eliminated and bullied by Witness. Tomas does not find any more further kills, as it's actually just Silentes who finds one kill onto Slemnish. Chris is cleaned up by Ixie. High Five wants to repeat onto Auto. They finally find him, but Ixie is running amok.
Ixie and Sil in the backlines cleaning up constantly. And look at the clock. It's 34 seconds for Witness. White Lotus haven't even touched the point.
They just can't seem to find any sort of angle in. There is no hope and no reprieve. Witness keep pelting them down. They never have an Uber to work with, and they barely have a medic to work with. So finally now, they are going to get the point captured, but it is just only 18 seconds left for the side of Witness. Beautiful rocket there from Silentes, followed up expertly by Silentes as a scout is shot back as well. We're trading players across the board, but it's Logan, the first demo man to fall, and now that means the White Lotus lacking a crucial damage in class as Lucas can get healed up and sit behind point and spam down. Tomas, all he needs to do is follow up, but Lucas taken quite low. Hits decent damage onto Skis as he erupts forwards once again, but Ixie finds another onto High Five.
Witness Gaming clamp forward, gonna get the point cap. They don't care about delaying that spawner on Papi because look at the clock, it's 15 seconds away from round number 1 for Witness Gaming. Tomas has taken so much space. Jay gets caught down. They might not get in time, you're right. White Lotus, they can't get forward. Logan,
it's 5
seconds.
Off
At the height. They need to get some capture. They need to get this Ubercharge in. Ubercharge used now from White Lotus. They've got to get forward. They've got to get this force out from Auto, which finally responds in kind. But Tomas doing a great job of blocking the point, and White Lotus, they've got to get in, but Lucas shuts that down instantly.
That is the Witness that we are used to seeing. Complete and utter domination in that first round. There was not a single breath of fresh air available for White Lotus there.
And specifically Skis as well. Skis could not play the game at all. Locked out on all fronts by the scout. But everyone on the team, every time he walks out of spawn, he is getting destroyed.
I feel like Ixie, it's so easy to overlook him when you're looking at Witness because Tomas is just heralded as that better player, as the best player in the world, right? But Ixie is so deadly on a map like this. I say that, instantly cast the curse him out of existence. The Slemnish finds that first kill. Silentes is actually dead as well. This is a flank squad from the side of White Lotus, finding so many opening kills. But as the counter frags coming forwards now too, onto Slemnish and onto Jay. But this Witness combo is forced to retreat for the moment. Point captured once again by White Lotus, and this time just looking to be just that little bit more in control.
See how Witness Gaming deal with it. They don't start out on the front foot. They've given up point capture, but they've kept Auto alive, so there is the option to start playing this point, start getting some cap pressure in, because if the U-Charge does eventually come out over onto Chris, and Uber can respond in kind from Auto. But for now, Chris, I think, is doing a great job of just blocking this point and denying any cap time.
Not cap time. They're just snap forwards and actually just going to take the Uber trade. It is just a lot of damage there onto the second scout, but unfortunately just not quite finding the shots of Tomas. So they take the trade back off, equal health on both teams, but Silentes is so deep! And once again, it is a kill onto Skis. Slemnish left to clean up that flank player as Jay's in behind as well. But to find a response onto Auto now seems impossible because look at the Witness members haunting him.
Salentes is an absolute magician, appearing out of nowhere in onto Skis. Going to earn themselves a bit of an Uber advantage, but the point time is what's really valuable out of this. The trade went Witness's favour. They're going to get their spawns up. They're going to get a bit of a hold going, but this is still like only 30 or 40 ad. Will Witness decide that they want to rip this? They want to go forward. They want to try and attack Skis, and to me, they've had good success. They might go for it.
They keep just trying to pelt him. This time around, it's Chris, the first one to fall. Ixie immediately responded, though. So that means that actually, Lucas finds one, but Jace is in onto the enemy Demo Man. Slemnish can't quite clean up. And so we're just 2 players alive here for White Lotus. They commit so far forward, so many resources to try and find these picks onto Witness. But now Logan dead as well. We're giving up so much control here. Sil in a 1v1 versus Chris. And doesn't quite find the third pickaxe.
Yeah, we saw the pickaxe last map from Sil. Had a go this time around. Not quite with the same effect, but in all of that, Ubercharge is still up, and Witness Gaming have quietly held this point now for about a minute and a quarter in one stint. White Lotus might need to have a trade across this point and get some kind of cap time, because at the minute, Witness Gaming, they have this middle point locked down.
The Uber's going to come out of Skis here quite early, forced down to just 18 HP from the spam of Witness. So now that is a huge rocket there onto Salentes, shut down as Jay actually traded across as well. The Uber coming forwards now from Witness. Lucas lands on them, cleans up Skis and Logan. So now it's just High Five and Slemnish left alive to pick up the pieces. But Papi is there, and so is Thomas. Witness once again wipe the board with White Lotus. They have 4 spawners, and there's only 4 up on Witness. There's no demo alive, so I think Lotus are going right back in.
They want to go back in, but this timer has ticked all the way down to 1 minute over for Witness Gaming. White Lotus, they have to get in quickly. But with Salentes circling in behind, it's not going to be easy. There's really a threat of any of these soldiers landing into this White Lotus combo, and now the window of opportunity may be passing because Lucas Tank is in and already raining down death.
It's so hard to play. These scouts are trying to inch across, and they're actually, once again, finding that early pick onto Ixie. But look at Skis' health. Papi somehow does not convert. So that means the pressure is averted, and maybe finally White Lotus are capping up the point once again. They're cleaning up players here alongside, but is Tomas just in on a lifetime mission to try and kill as many players as possible? Not going to find any further, because that is 4 players staring him in the face. He's standing tall, and now it's even Uber. Slemnish is up on the sniper, because look at this, it's 2 minutes left. Witness only need 12 seconds.
They have to change something on White Lotus, and the sniper might be the way to open this up. Misses the first attempt over onto Ixie. But now, look, Auto, Lucas, the rest of the combo, they have to play so careful. Lucas dancing with the idea of peeking out from a little cubby hole. They decide just to use the Uber regardless, just take the space as they can. Skis does still have an Uber to use back in kind should it be needed. Thomas trades out 1-for-1 in a High Five in a highly unfavourable situation, but Skis still, like I said, had that Uber charge ready to go, and I think they're going to have to get in eventually because the cap time is almost there for Witness. They might just cap this for the seconds.
Yeah, this is really scary now. Slemnish is so low as well. You can see the entirety of White Lotus is just getting pelted once again by Witness. Logan is taken down as the Uber comes out of Skis. But this is so many players that are lost. Witness have this cap, and there's no players on the point. You have to go on it right now. Witness is storming it because they know they just have to clean up. It's just Chris and High Five left alive. And unfortunately for them, it's 3 players up, and Crypt is left alone. He is off the point, and yes, he finds a kill onto Thomas. But that is Witness once again with another round, and that means it's an instantaneous tack pause.
Larry said, White Lotus, they have to change something. Yes, they brought the sniper up, but they brought it up with so little time left in that game. Didn't really give Slemnish the time to get going. But they are being utterly just wiped off of this map. They just can't get anything working. And I don't know, it's a complete turnaround from map 1. It genuinely feels like Witness Gaming, they've just like, I don't know, they've woken up. They've had like a classic Papi team talk, and they've just got themselves back locked in again, and we are seeing the Witness Gaming of old.
Yeah, Witness Gaming looking so strong so far on this map. They are firing on all cylinders. I feel like we've already had basically hero moments from every single one of their players. Lucas has been putting out so much damage on this map. I feel like Ixie was playing out of his mind in that first little round. And you're looking across, and like, White Lotus were going for that sniper of Slemnish towards the end. He wasn't quite hitting the shots. He's going to need to start finding them if he wants to. I know that this is a gear that they can go into the White Lotus should they want to.
We saw it last map.
Yeah, they did it. They did it last time, yeah, when they played against the Samurai.
Yeah, absolutely. And pause ends now. The team talk is over. I'm not sure who's been leading that one over on White Lotus, but maybe they've got some fabulous ideas. We saw earlier on DM had a similar attack pause going down a little bit, and Geordie rallied the troops, got them back in fashion. But here we go. The result of the team talk is that Slemnish Sniper, they're going all in on it, rolling out to mid with the rifle. All eyes on that. All eyes on if Slemnish can find some heads.
Looking early on, it's going to spot the scout player, not quite find that mark. As early Witness aggression just immediately busts that flank. Ixie down to 1 HP, and actually Silenta's cleaned up as well. So this sniper is left on a 1v1 with Papi, that he wins. With a nice little no-scope there onto him. The follow-up, it's 3 players down for Witness. They are just not in position whatsoever. He's forced behind China as well, so now hiding. Witness nowhere to be found. For the moment, they have just a little bit of calm, but Slemnish can keep taking these pot shots.
So many nasty angles they have to clear over on Witness Gaming. Slemnish has been lethal in the previous moments on this map, trying to peek around, trying to find the head of Lucas. It peeks and it pokes over the little mound on the top of this map. Shows once more. Lucas takes a whole lot of damage for it, down to 40 HP. But the danger is averted for now. Silenta's managed to force Sniper back. They're getting pressure over towards the point. And Witness Gaming finally flipped this point over to the blue. And White Lotus, for the first time this game, they're up on time.
I love how Sil is playing that, though. Just sitting super far back and just trying to spam the sniper. Not even necessarily trying to kill it, just making sure he's super low so he can't peek aggressively. The trade's now going to come forwards, and this should be looking to favor Witness, right? They have the extra scout player, but in that post-uber, it's so dangerous. Slemnish is getting aggravated by his scout, but unfortunately, Thomas is going to die. So Silentes, but Skis falls in return, and so finally a bit of a crunch comes through from Witness, but it is still Logan finding 2. So with Hi-Fi failing that jump, he can't go forwards. White Lotus, once again, regain controlling of that point. It is about even in both Ubers and time.
Witness Gaming just about getting out with Auto alive. They're going to have a slight advantage, but for how long? Because Slemnish peeps in once more, sees Auto through the window. Auto's all aware of this, dodging with it, just poking around, trying to keep the beam without exposing himself to the chance of a 150 damage body shot. But the bombs are in, the aggression is forward now. Silenta's Papi trying to get in aggressive. Papi just going to go up and above and just try and get some damage, but he's going to flip the point, but at the cost of 1 player. Is it worth?
They're so low on Witness, they're taking so much damage, and they're just all in the sniper sight line. So Slemnish still not converting here. A lot of damage still onto Lucas, as actually there's trade coming forwards now, as Witness are just going for it. Skis doesn't have, he's at 99%, but it's not 100, so he falls as a beautiful pipe from Lucas as well. Comes in onto the soldiers, Silentes is up on top, he does get cleaned up, but High Five is so low on this cliffside, and Witness once again, from nothing, take that trade. They had 2% advantage, Ben.
That's the difference it made. The Auto survived the previous Uber trade. It was just about enough. And Witness Gaming, they are the best team on the planet at controlling these tiny advantages. And they're the best team in the world at pulling out things like that, because Lucas just kills everyone.
That is disastrous for the White Lotus. Looking to get back in, Logan hits beautiful pipes, but he just gets cleaned up as well, as Ixie and Silentes combine there for just a little more. And you can see Witness now looking for a forward hold as Chris goes aggressive, gets cleaned up, and Sil is in main. Ski's not with his team. And unfortunately, this is Logan trapped in spawn as well. Silentes not even looking at him, just reloading, and doesn't quite find the frags. But they are all thoroughly shoved back in spawn. It is a minute left, and Auto has such a huge advantage here.
Losing Silentes is a little bit unfortunate for Witness. They would want of their extra soldiers to get some more spam whilst White Lotus try and prepare for what I'm assuming is going to become some kind of pressure wave or sack wave across the point. But Auto, like you said, massive advantage. Players lining up, ready to go. All eyes on Auto. Will you get ripped across regardless? Will they get forced out? Will there be any kind of aggression? But it seems for now like they're playing it very slow on the White Lotus side. They're just grouping up and they're trying to slow roll this forward before the bombs come in. The bombs just, they aren't forthcoming.
Auto got spammed down a little bit low, so that means the Witness can sit quite passively, but they could just run down this timer. There's 19 seconds left for them. So Ski's at this point, right? He's 75%, and that means White Lotus don't really want to engage either. Early bomb in from Jay, but he just wants to be a distraction as he jumps all the way in behind, but there's 2 players ready to deal with him. So now it's one player down. The timer runs so low, but Skis has a counter Uber to fight with, and this all comes down to this fight. So Ixie will be the first to fall as Chris finds him, but unfortunately Skis doesn't find his man. But he milks this Uber, and he holds on to it for as long as he can. He finally pops it, but what's left in the post Uber? There's no one there. They're sat on the point, and they have to stay. It is 1 kill onto Lucas. Soldier can bomb in, and is Papi getting taken down as well, but they're not on the point! Ben! They're not on the point!
Why? What are they doing?
Papi's Swedish!
Oh, it's outrageous scenes from White Lotus. It was going so well.
I thought that was a European thing.
Oh my dear me, Witness Gaming with a gift delivered to their doorstep. Yes, there was still 2 minutes up on the clock, but there was only Auto alive.
There were 4 members up, just sitting all around the point. Unfortunately, no one on it, so now down 3-0. Witness just need one more to thoroughly come back in this series. Jay with a massive little rocket onto Silentes as they actually get the kill onto Skis in the meantime. So now with no medic for the side of the White Lotus, they are forced to deal with all of the players bombing in, but it's actually Logan forwards actually getting the kill onto Auto. Lucas is 11 HP. Happy's going to bomb in to try and get Logan, but he finds that kill as well. He's going to die to fall damage. And Lucas cleaned up as well. Slamish.
Absolutely wild, mate, to be quite honest. There are the air shots coming in, the frags coming in. Crazy, crazy scenes, but it wasn't clean for either side. Both medics going down. It's going to be roughly even on the Ubers. As White Lotus actually looking to step this quite aggressively. Logan was a late death, so they have to be a little bit careful. Staying too far forward, no stickies to hold on. Look at the damage they're taking on the concrete.
Everyone taking so much there on both sides. It's Chris getting called out in Connector as well, and Lucas gets to play this so aggressively because of it. That is Logan forced to sit forwards, forced to try and hit pipes, but he's just not finding the damage. High five with 1 kill to Ixie, but is that enough? Witness now just edging the camp, but they choose to ignore it anyway, so Ixie's going to have that slightly later spawn. Even Uber's here. The White Lotus is gearing up once again. They sit behind point. They wait and they hold. About 20 seconds between these two teams. No one aggression for the moment. Early spam damage coming across. Once again, it looks like White Lotus, the first to aggress. The first to try perform this border crossing across onto the other side of point, but it is so treacherous, these waters, to get across here on Viaduct. It is so much damage that you take when you step over that line. So both teams really feeling it, but Chris is trying his hardest. He's so far forwards already. He's just eking out this timer ever so slowly. It's a kill onto Silentes, and that might set up the White Lotus.
They need to go at some point, and they do decide to go now. They're going to run the Ubercharge in with Chris onto Lucas Tank, who does take a lot of damage, but not enough to force out this Ubercharge from Auto. And now, full advantage for the team in blue. But they decide to wait for their spawn. They decide to play it slow. They decide to just use the threat of the Ubercharge for now. As Lucas just spams a lot of stickies over the top of the point, a lot of damage, and now decides to bomb in himself to see if they can cut off these retreating players. Lots of stickies on that doorway. But Skis, the all-important one, has slid out and away to spawn.
So unfortunately, they're actually not going to find that much. They find these 3 kills, but that's completely fine for the White Lotus. Point cap goes across, so they're instantly going to get their spawners back here. But that is such an aggressive play there from that blue scout. So much damage dealt by Thomas.
The confidence.
It's insane. Like, he just runs at them. He sees them right in front of him. He doesn't care. He just wants those frags. Chris now left to try and go forward, but Papi already in behind and just crunches down on Jay as he is left alone on the flank. It's a lot of damage dealt actually in onto High Five as well, and there's those soldiers in action on the side of White Lotus. Papi is in and finds the kill onto Skis.
Yeah, on the air shot, the second one! Oh, good effort, my man. Papi nearly lands that one. Oh my, the Witness Gaming, the soldiers connecting and the soldiers cleaning up that White Lotus combo, and again it's Skis getting caught, and honestly, who can blame him? There's soldiers flying about all over the shop, and it's now full Uber advantage. Only a minute left on that blue timer. We're a minute away from a 4-0 on the White Lotus's map pick, none less.
This is the one that they picked because they thought they had the best chances of beating Witness on it. Staring at it 2-0. one would have maybe thought, but instead now it's Lucas leading the charge as Salentis is there to follow up. So much damage dealt, but actually Slemlish finds Lucas in the chaos. But it is Thomas just cleaning up house on Cliff.
Why is Auto
Everyone
in
on
enemy
Witness is
spawn?
1 HP, but they're just not falling.
Why was Auto in enemy spawn in that Uber? What on earth was happening over on the Witness side? Well, I know what was happening. There was a lot of murder and a lot of destruction over in that red spawn point. 18 seconds on the clock. White Lotus, they're not just going to have to come back in this round. They're going to have to reverse sweep this if they're to take the series 2-0. Witness gaming, they don't want to let that happen. They're circling around. Papi lands in. Big damage onto the combo. Second rocket lands onto Logan. The health is not there. And Witness gaming, they're going to take it to a third map. We go all the way to Metalworks.
Absolutely stunning from Witness. They leave no doubt that they are the #1 team in Europe. You might upset them on Granary, but take it to product. They are a different beast. You poke the bear.
Absolutely. One map down in the series and they awaken. Fabulous stuff from Witness Gaming as they come back in. White Lotus were not allowed to even think about getting into that game. But I know who is ready to think about this game. We've got the desk, we've got turbo tabs. Break that one down for us.
Shh, it's okay, White Lotus. It's okay. You didn't know. You didn't know, White Lotus. I know. It's okay. You didn't know. Product is their best map. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Shh. It's okay. There's still a third map. I'm Turbo Tabs. We're here on the analytical couch. I've got Corndog this time. I've also got dmoule as well. dmoule, I could have sworn we were watching the first round over and over and over again. Then there was a sniper, but then some more again and again and again. Skis just kept getting caught out over and over again.
Yeah, same story, pretty much everyone. Thomas was taking an aggressive trade onto them. Skis were trying, Skis and the Enco. I'm not gonna point fingers only at Skis, but they were trying to get out in the same area all the time.
Oh my god, look at that medic difference.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So if you take all the assists from Auto and add his deaths to it as well, that's the same amount of deaths as Skis has.
Wow. Nah, that's
that man, he's died more than his scouts.
I mean, that's just a statement. Don't pick products against Witness. That's all.
Enemy number one, Corndog. Does this frighten you as a medic main?
This looks like one of those games that you just want to forget about. You know, you've just got Papi and Silentes landing on you time and time again, and it's just not, I don't know, they're going to want to move straight on to the next map. I think the Americans, they've got a good kind of atmosphere in that they'll be able to just move on fairly fast. It's pretty brutal. It wasn't enjoyable to watch either. It was like just flogging a horse.
There was a little hope in that. Hello, we've got a new person on the couch. Hi. Introduce yourself to the stream.
My name is Roticher. I played for the Underpros in TF2, but my team did not come.
Welcome to the couch, Roticher. It's obviously fantastic to have you here. Did you obviously watch the game?
Yeah.
What did you think? What things could you spot?
Well, first of all, I was pretty surprised where Slamlish played sniper, they would still have 2 soldiers instead of like swapping high 5 or J to scout, because I think that's pretty powerful.
That is a very interesting point, because they actually are very experienced on scout as well. These are previous scout players, I think, once upon a time. So it's kind of wacky. Is this? I don't know. Do you think like these guys are coming here just to play for fun? Like, is scout just not a fun class?
I'm not sure. Maybe they've just tried it in scrims and they found out, yeah, maybe 2 soldiers is just better for our team. I don't know why that would be the case. I haven't really checked them out too much, you know, but maybe that's just how they like to play.
dmoule, how bad at scout do you have to be to discount running 2 scouts on a map like that? Is there like cutting losses from just not running a scout when you're running a sniper?
No, I don't think that's true. Like both way can work. I mean, I remember at some point Witness were trying a perma sniper like before last poLANd, and the scout was Papi. So that just tells you a lot about it. But no, the NA always played with 2 soldiers. Like the G6 team always had 2 soldiers, even though they could have a Kobe on scout, for example. And no. I think they like to give more space to the sniper. I think it's really good to have 2 soldiers and a sniper against another team sniping as well. But I mean, against Witness it's rough. Like their cookie cutter is way too good.
Corndog, there's such things as confidence in TF2. Where's the line of confidence and cockiness? Did you see it in this game? Was they playing a bit too confident over on White Lotus? It looked like they were staying in during these Ubers and having no respect for Witness.
I mean, so I want to cast your mind back to yesterday when White Lotus played. Who did they play? They destroyed them. The Slender Sniper. They played the SNH team, the MAC team, and it was crispy clean. Honestly, Slem's dropping 50 kills. Maybe they've sort of taken that victory on products, and they're kind of trying to roll it into today. I don't know. It just wasn't. Nothing that seems going. I mean, we got to talk about Skis. I think Skis is dropping the ball. I don't think anyone else is having a particularly terrible game. You know, Granary is pretty good. High Five pretty alright on Granary, but I don't know. Skis can't be dying 14 times. 14 times.
16.
Wow,
Yeah,
the number gets bigger and
times.
bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a strat. Maybe it's one of those NA things. Maybe it's just sack your medic. I don't know, but it's don't know. It was hard to watch.
All right, dmoule, we have to try and somehow, alongside White Lotus, we have to put product out of our mind, and we're now going to be over to Metalworks. And tell me about Metalworks. Obviously, we kid and joking tee-hee, because obviously the local ETF12 final had like that glaring Metalworks game where it went on for a while. Are we going to see like a huge breach of the Banny config at this point, or are these two teams quite quick in their gameplay?
I don't think it's gonna be the case. I think it's gonna be the same scenario as the Granary game. I think it's gonna go back and forth. I can see that actually. I don't think it's a particularly. I mean, Witness map pool is insane, but I don't see Metalworks as being one of their good, best maps. You know. I don't know anything about this American team, so I have no idea, actually. So,
Roticher, help me out here. I don't have an opinion of my own, so I actually download the opinions of good players and figure out whether or not maps are good. No, not these two. So I'm asking you in particular, is Metalworks a good map? Is it a bad map? Like, where do you stand?
I think it's a good map. And considering like how this map just went, I thought that Salentis and Papi played pretty well together. And Metalworks is a pretty soldier-heavy map, so if they continue playing like that, they might just take Metalworks as their second map.
Okay, and tell me, like, where do you think we'll be spending most of our time in this Metalworks? Are we going to be mostly at last? Are we going to be chilling at second? Is there going to be a lot of these mid-actions? What do you think is going to be the most time-consuming part of this map?
I think second on either side. I think it's going to be a bit back and forth like dmoule said. But I think second might be the point where they play the most.
Now, dmoule... Yeah. dmoule, I like second as a soldier. I think I like the little alley wars where everyone's doing the little jumps. They're like, who am I jumping on? Am I jumping on a demo? Am I jumping on the medic? No, I'm never jumping the medic. Maybe I'll take your little lobby room. Like, that's a cool little dynamic, right?
I mean, I low-key agree with Roticher. I think the big part of the map is going to be on second. I don't see these guys go back to last, just like Dolly Maggots. I see them having way too much ego to just throw the second point for the enemy team. I think there's going to be a lot of action there. I really like the way Witness approached this second point. They have Lucas usually staying in house, and they're having two soldiers bombing, making space, going back and forth, sacking, just making a movement. Meanwhile, Lucas is sneakily peeking as well. I like the way they play this second point. Oh yeah, sorry. No, he's not doing that.
Connor, when we think Metalworks, I usually have a devil and an angel. Or in this scenario, a Geordie and a Mac appear on my shoulder.
Who's
and
who?
They say to me, Geordie says in my ear, use the baseless jumper. Use it. Just jump high in the air. Be annoying. Use that unlock at all times. And Mac is like, please don't use that unlock. It makes the game unfun. Like, what? what do you think Witness or White Lotus should do? Should they abuse these unlocks? Are they a crutch?
I mean, so I was watching the Mandem DM game, which I believe is going on the other stream, and
Angel versus Devil.
Exactly. And I saw a bit of Geordie using the parachute on Gully Wash mids, so I don't think it's going to take place in this match. These guys aren't the type of people to use it. I don't think I've ever seen so. No.
dmoule's got opinions.
Also, first off, what's he saying? We're not going to spend most of the time on second. Second is the most easily crackable point on probably any of the maps. Honestly, we're going straight to last. It's going to be just sack waves into last. Nothing's going to be happening. It's going to be very slow, grindy, lots of failed last pushes. That's all it's going to be.
dmoule, I care about your opinion. What do you have to say, my child?
Papi used a lot base jumper on Metalworks last.
He does?
Yeah, he does.
He's a Geordie.
I mean, yeah, but I've seen him using that. And I've seen, at some point, a Scottish resistance from Lucas.
All right, you're just making things up now.
No, that is true. I saw that once. It didn't work well.
The crowd will go mental if they see a Scottish resistance. Roticher, is there any sort of kooky other unlocks that EU needs to, maybe bury? Is there anything like we could expect at all? Have you got the inside scoop? Is there like, the Huntsman's going to come out next?
Well, not Huntsman particularly, but base jumper seems pretty used nowadays, especially within the Geordie team. And yeah, I've seen Papi also tried it out, and they seem to like the base jumper a bit too much.
What about the banners? Does nobody run a nice banner anymore?
Not after the battalions got banned.
Oh, well, it's a shame. Is the conch really that bad?
It's not the worst, but like some people do use it when they're trying to push last, like when they're trying to pressure it. I've seen Mattis in my team, he tried to use it and it worked okay. Sometimes it did not work at all though. But the conch, it's not as good as the battalions. That's why it got banned.
All right, guys, obviously we have taken a little bit of break here. It's the third map. It's kind of a marathon session in the land of TF2. And these gamers, they go outside having a smoke, going to the toilet, they're missing, unplugging cables from their thing. Tell me what it's like when it comes... Don't smoke on stream, TOS. Explain to me what it's like in a best of three. Do you feel any fatigue, like yourself, Roticher, when you're playing a best of three? Do you get tired by a third map?
No, I don't.
But you just built different, aren't you?
I'm young.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, yes, he's young. dmoule, old man, Unk. Hello, can you hear us? Can you make it to the third map, or do you get tired?
You're speaking to a young soul. Obviously, I can. Throw me 10 maps, throw me 20 maps, I'll be here. But some people feels the being tired after a while. I don't think that's the case for most people, though. So no.
I would ask you, Connor, this question, but you're a medic. How the hell do you feel tired in any game? You don't do anything. So,
are you joking? I spend my entire time looking up, staring at the skies, waiting for the next soldier to land on my head. Of course you get tired.
How tiring for you. How tiring. Anyway, I rush it along because we're going to be starting soon. So that means you have to give me your little prediction, and then you can be on your way.
It's going to be, as dmoule says, very close, similar to map 1, back and forth. I'm predicting, I think the Americans are going to take it in maybe a 4-2 fashion.
4-3 Witness.
4-3 Witness?
I'm expecting a 5-2 to Witness.
All right. Now, I know you're all telling me for the correct answer because I've been pretty good on this so far. I got the last one ping pong perfect. So I think this Metalworks is going to be... I think Witness are going to get 2 rounds. They're going to lord over them with these rounds. But White Lotus are going to make a comeback. I've wrote it in the stars. It's in the script. It's going to be a 3-2 White Lotus victory. Be hype. Be ready, casters.
We're not ready, Turbo Tabs.
Yeah, we're down a gamer, unfortunately. I can just see on my screen that Thomas left the server as
Rage quit.
As Turbo said that the players are ready. So
yep, unfortunately, Thomas is going to be rejoining the game. This has been a crazy series in the sense that these two maps felt so completely different in like every way, right? Not just even in the first map was one team dominating, the second team map was another team dominating. This time it's first map super close, neither team really dominating, but then it is just the Americans coming out on top. Of the second map, however, it was Witness just absolutely running down White Lotus in on product. We're going to have to see on Metalworks if Witness Gaming can maintain that momentum, because it really felt like going off that last map that the White Lotus might just have poked the bear a little bit too hard. This is map number 3 of the upper bracket semi-finals of poLANd 2026. Witness Gaming versus the White Lotus. We're in on Metalworks, and it's Logan who's playing from height.
Who's the first one to budge? And the first one to budge is that early frag in onto Jay. Lots of damage being traded back for it, but Witness Gaming able to heal back up. And look at the respect that we're seeing from White Lotus. They lose one soldier, they get a lot of damage, but they don't overextend tracing that damage. And honestly, that's an intelligent decision. We've seen how they can get punished for that. They got punished for it in product a couple of times. And Witness Gaming just calmly take the first mid. But with spawners here on second, there's no dramas, and I think we're going into sack territory.
You can see already Tomas just sort of sat in alley, spamming his wingers, spotting out the opponents, and there we go. It's a high bomb coming out of papi. Just going to surf back around to open the door for Silentes, who goes straight in onto Skis, and he hits the first one, but does not find the second rocket. So Skis surviving for now, down to about 100 HP. But that's going to be oh so fine for him. He's just going to heal back up, and you can see off of this one pick, it is the White Lotus getting a bit aggressive here, in onto Valley. Not going to find any picks, instead they're just going to back off, make themselves known. There's no real pick really to work with.
We saw back on Granary, we saw White Lotus in those kind of situations. One soldier goes down. They were really keen on the idea of early pressuring forward. They got into quite a lot of kind of carnage scenarios off the back of chasing picks back and forth. This time, though, they're playing it a lot more calm, a lot more measured. I think they may be thinking back to that product game and how rough it went at moments. Soldiers circling once more. That's Silentes going in. papi as well actually lands back around and decides to fade away, but no one's gone down yet. So Witness Gaming, they can recycle, they can go back forward again. papi once more, landing in onto the combo, does a lot of damage, but Silentes unable to commit. So once more, one soldier. White Lotus, probably not too keen on pushing.
They're going to be at least peeking into Valley, see if there's any kind of angle for either of their soldiers to get through. See left alone to hold house, but should be substantial for the moment. You can see White Lotus backing off, not seeing any chink in the armors of Witness. There are stickies up, and they do find a kill onto Auto as Logan, with the pitch-perfect detonation, finds the opposing medic, and now Skis has a massive advantage. They are already exploding in onto middle, and White Lotus look to take it firmly in favor of themselves.
Wow, what a trap, what a completely unexpected by Auto. Logan finds it, finds the timing, and what's even better for them is they're already capping up mid, and look at the positioning on second. There's the heavy and forward spawn. That is the only real defense that Witness Gaming have to stop this absolute avalanche of red players from walking across the map. Auto's only at 40%, second's almost capped up. This is Uberad.
This is Uberad, unfortunately, because his heavy's up. There's no gun on last. There's nothing here. It's 6 default classes against each other as Chris is in, but they don't even need to pop. There's no gun. There's nothing to use on. So instead, Skis is so far forward, and they take so much space against Witness. This is a very, very low scout that is already cleaned up. papi falls as well, but so does Slemnish. As he is traded off. There's a lot of damage dealt actually to the White Lotus. They have to regroup for now. As they heal up, but Locus is in on the point. He's not going to fight the cap time though. The crunch comes out, and Witness managed to hold on. Just Skis left alive. He killbinds, will not suffer the indignity of another death.
It won't get many better chances than that, the White Lotus. And what a hold it was from those last couple of players. Silentes coming in with 2 nice directs to finish that one off. And Witness Gaming, they fight on.
There's no medic up on mid either. This is so hard for the White Lotus to hold on at all. Might even just be looking at a bit of a sack wave here. Witness have to play this carefully, as Logan playing it so aggressively actually with the stickies as well. Witness now edging in onto mid, and they're going to cap this off. And actually the White Lotus are looking to fight this, get this force out. So that is a very fast soldier bomb coming in from the opposing side. papi is in onto enemy Valley to just alleviate the pressure. The Uber comes forwards in through house onto Tomas. But these are 2 soldiers in behind, and they are left to clean up. Silentes destroys high five on middle.
absolutely traded out 1-for-1. Both soldiers now down for the White Lotus, but what is up is their Ubercharge advantage, up at about 40% currently. Yes, they're going to have to sit back for the moment. Yes, they're going to have to build it up, wait for the 2 soldier spawners that are going to back spawn, mind you. But Witness Gaming have to be careful. They're only at 50%, and even without the soldiers, there's a chance that White Lotus might want to risk it.
White Lotus very willing to take these sort of big fights, and that means the Uber's coming straight in, and they're trying to just get this kill onto Lucas, as he does fall. It is a very low soldier in-house, also fighting a little bit with that corner, but he just barely manages to escape. So 100% for him, but 4 players down. White Lotus left to cap mid. Not quite the successful trade, to be honest, that they're looking for. These spawners are going to be up, but how much do they lose on second while they're gone?
The thing is, they all got denied as well. All 4 of these spawning players, none of them able to really help out on second. And look at this, like there'd be no players on second to block this. Logan's already got traps up. And White Lotus, they're looking at a last push. Unless Thomas and the rest of the gang can get in onto second, they might have to use the Uber for it. But they really do not want to get pinned all the way back.
They're getting pelted down by these Lucas sticky traps and pipes. It's Jay bombing in to try and alleviate the pressure, but it's Thomas who gets bowed back up. So 1 soldier man is lost. It's Chris taken down on the flank, however, and now Witness get the ball rolling. It is 80% on the side for Skis, but Thomas is already in on middle, just riding around as he gets the pack. It is another kill onto Slemnish, and slowly but surely, White Lotus are crumbling at the seams. It was such a huge advantage, but Witness with pick after pick after pick are now sitting at a 3-man advantage. It is even
bomb!
Spawner comes in, and he do find the force, but it's 2 more frags for Witness.
And these spawners, look at these spawn times. 5 seconds on a soldier, 12 on the other 2. There's a chance this gets pinned. There's a chance that Skis gets forced. Skis has to use the Uber charge. Papi Thomas going to die for it. But now, the rest of the combo, Auto included, sit back on second. They haven't managed to actually finish the cap, which is a little bit unfortunate. Logan coming back in, trying to deny it as much as possible. What a pipe that was from Logan. Second point won't be getting capped anytime soon.
And so now it's Lucas forced to run away with his medic in tow, as Auto gets chased by everyone on the side of White Lotus. They just managed to get out for now. It's a soldier bombing in-house, actually lands on the pack. It still gets cleaned up, but Thomas is traded as Logan wakes up on this map as well. It is still even for both these teams. Jay actually eats a couple upwards direct rockets. It's a slight advantage for Auto here, but this is such a distance to cover for Witness. I am not sure a 20% advantage here would ever matter.
It doesn't look to me like they're too keen on the idea of going very far forward. They're peeking over towards Valley. They're giving it a look in. I think they're going to see the stance that White Lotus have and think better of it. There we go. They retreat all the way back. You know, they're the team. They want to try. They want to see maybe there's space to be taken. That's kind of the Witness philosophy. If there's space to take, why not take it? But in this scenario, they decide not to go too aggressive. Big speed shot bomb comes in on to Jay, who is slammed straight down into the ground.
Unfortunately, not finding much of anything there whatsoever. So he's just sent right back into the respawn queue. I wonder, do White Lotus want themselves an off-class, or are they confident in the vanilla loadout to really be the key to victory here? Jay doesn't even need to snipe himself, but he just might anyway. So there we go, coming up on the sniper. It is a bit of a weird point to snipe into. I think the most obvious angle is through that lower. But you need someone to pick it for the moment. If Auto is just sitting there, you have to peek so aggressively as a sniper to actually get a shot onto the enemy. So you can see Jay scoped in through lower, and he's looking to just catch the feet of Auto. And his legs, and he cuts him down by the shins.
Fabulous body shot, the legs dancing left and right, and completely destroys Auto.
That is so huge for the White Lotus. Witness already back onto last. Thomas has such little time to build up this gun. But now the big challenge for White Lotus. They have this sniper up, and he needs to keep finding the shots for this push to successfully convert. It is Jay still pushing forward. Auto is up on the defensive Crits Krieg as this Uber is going to come out. Scout and Logan coming straight forward in onto the gun. It is a gun immediately taken down and a Witness routed into spawn. So this heavy is still up. There's a parachute up around the point, and Papi is just shooting down on the opponents. So much damage on the White Lotus as they are cleaned up. Jay hits a disgusting one onto Papi, but they are still wiped, and Witness hold on anyway.
Operation Market Garden there from Witness Gaming, hanging on with the parachute. Despite that headshot, they fight on 2 Uber ad pushes now for White Lotus.
They have crits as well. This is so dangerous. The White Lotus, they can't be stacked up because the Lucas crits be ready for them at any moment. I don't know if they spotted it out either. What if they are unawares? You can see now Lucas once again on Metalworks second here. They are just going to be looking to send this right in through alley probably. He gets this one sticky shot as he fired forward. It is a soldier bombing in onto Auto. So much damage dealt. And he doesn't pop. Lives on just 11. And so now Lucas can charge up a sticky.
Big bomb in as well up from Papi to join this. Lucas ready to turn his sticky bomb launcher into a nuke launcher at the press of a button. But they've waited too long perhaps because Skis already has an Uber charge up and ready to defend
Have
with.
the surprise factor still. I don't know if they actually know it's a crit. So there is still an opportunity. Lucas still has the one shot. But Skis is sat in behind. If they think this is a regular Uber, they're expecting some soldier sacks coming in. They might not just expect this crit sticky from Lucas that's already getting charged up but not quite fired. So still tanking him, and at some point the White Lotus must smell something is up. Why is Lucas continually peeking us like this? But where is Skis? They have no information. They need to locate him. The crit comes out blindly and it doesn't find anything. Instead, it is Lucas completely shut down. It is the crit's ineffective. Papi sacking forwards and gets the force.
That's something, but look at all the frags that are coming forth. Chris already very aggressive across second. Thomas is taken down now by Slemnish, and 3 players are all that is up now for Witness Gaming. Second point going to get captured by the White Lotus. And the worst part as well for Witness Gaming, they're still stuck on the crit streak.
They're stuck. Auto didn't die, and that means they have to play with it. 9 HP on Jay in lower. Should get bowed up there, and High Five is going to trade out on crates because it's going to take a lot of damage while doing so. So it is High Five cleaned up. Slemnish is taken down as well. Papi and Lucas still huge, as now a crit once again comes in. It is big crit's advantage. 2 left alive still.
But now it does matter though, because Skis doesn't have an Uber charge to block it with this time. This time Skis cannot press the right mouse button to get out of these crits. And look, the spawners only just there. Players already in. Bomb lands in. Over on towards the point, trying to get some damage over. And Skis gets air blasted away. The crits come in.
Dying.
And they are taken down instantly. Once again, White Lotus, they're holding tall on their own last point. But Auto, I guess, might be kind of glad he's back in the respawn queue because he can finally get rid of this crit streak.
Finally get rid of the crit streak, but in the meantime, it is White Lotus' massive advantage. Once again, back up! He gets in! He is undetected! So by himself, he will net himself around for his team. The White Lotus unable to stop his backhab. I have no idea how he got there.
It's absolute insanity. That's the quality that Witness Gaming have. Just when you think they are down and out, they pull out some magic, something we didn't even think was possible. And now the 1-0 lead. They were down in the first map. They picked Granary and dropped it, but they've just bounced back in a huge, huge way. 1-0 up now, Metalworks. White Lotus, they must be shaken.
So much damage onto Jay before he even gets to play the mid. Forced to immediately go for the pack. It's going to set back the plans of White Lotus quite significantly as Jay still goes in. Still finds a kill onto Salentas as well, so 1 for 1 for the moment. But it's a lot of damage actually onto Lucas. He's so low and forced back in his alley. It's Thomas dead as well, and that's Witness completely routed from the mid.
Yeah, it might get worse as well because the aggression hasn't let up from Chris. Nice pipe from Lucas, but not enough to deter Chris, who marches on forward alongside High Five. They're really trying to squeeze here over on White Lotus. They're going to get mid. They're going to get second, and with a 10-second respawner on Lucas, there's a chance to perhaps sack in early and get some aggression going. Can they get the Uber-charge out of Auto? Can they get the force? Gun is up, heavy is up, bomb lands in. High Five has to circle around, deterred by the presence of that minigun. The setup is just about going to be there, I think, for Witness.
Gun now up and operational means that it is so much harder for the White Lotus to actually get in. It is slowly going to get built. And Papi actually not up on the parachute, at least for the moment. Salentas not either, so full vanilla. Fat Scout coming out as well as Jay tries to go for the double jump there. It's a 3-man sack coming in, straight onto the point. They find the kill onto Thomas. It's a lot of white cap time. Slemnish is 1 HP and they don't quite find it. They don't find the force either. So much pressure from the White Lotus. It's unsuccessful. And Witness now looking to come onto second.
Sent in the George Foreman, but Witness Gaming, they were just about to all enough to stand up to the punches. And they're actually going to cap up second as well. That's the risk you're sending out these 4-man sacks. If you don't get the force, you do lose the points. Solenta's thinking about landing in over onto the alley. Decides against it, just going to fade around this time as Lucas actually gets bowed down by Skis. That's a massive frag.
This is actually so many Witness members falling on second. They get completely called out by the White Lotus. 2 kills for Skis as he finds 2 crucial bows. The first one onto Lucas is massive, and it forces Witness to take this trade now. They have no one alive. It's High Five already on the point in this post 2, but they are just 3 members as finally, actually, they do get their spawners. They find 2 kills as well. Witness Gaming, hold on.
I think they were playing a little... Oh, never mind! I'll hold my tongue because Logan finds 2 early frags and a third comes in onto Ixie. White Lotus, they're still in with the fight. No Uber charges means there's no option of that trade to come back in now for the Witness team. The cap time comes through, and this is going to potentially be an equalizer for White Lotus. The cap time almost at Thomas, last man standing. Soldiers back in. There's no more bodies to hurl at the point. White Lotus, they equalize. They are a match for the world champions.
So close, but it's Witness giving them the opportunity to get those 3-man picks over and over and over and over and over again. Skis with the humongous 2K to send us into last there. I cannot understate how big that is. So now we are back to 1-1. And with 10 minutes left of regulation, this is anyone's game to play for still. Witness falling now would completely destroy the lower bracket, I'm not going to lie.
It absolutely would. Witness Gaming looking to end this one as soon as they can, I'm sure. Trying to bomb forward, trying to get some early picks. Last time it worked out well for them, but this time it looks like White Lotus playing a lot more passive, a lot slower. Papi going to circle in, decides to land on the soldier, takes down Jay, but going to trade out with his own life. Massive damage from Solentes though in the back line, and this is going to be a huge amount of space taken, a lot of damage as well in from Thomas. Witness Gaming again winning out the mid.
It's Ixie just still in onto the enemy combo. High Five goes down as Thomas does take him out. So it's 3 players left alive on the White Lotus. Medic intact, so that means Ubercharge intact as well, but Witness might have a bit of a player advantage here.
They can try and squeeze this one early, I think. They're going to try and walk over to the point. Logan, kind of the sole defender here, trying to just spam on this point to deny the cap time. But that is all there's going to be as Witness Gaming. They can creep forward. I think they're just going to get this cap and turn this into a last hold. You see White Lotus, they have to give up second.
They have to give up second. They're going back. No off-classes either. It means that Papi wants to go. He's already in. So is Solentes, and he's taken down. Papi is stuck in the corner, gets shut down by Logan, who finds another onto Ixie. And so this is a 3-man sack that White Lotus like very much. They're looking to go in. Jay already in lower, finds a very nice direct, and forces Witness Gaming back to mid.
Forces them back quite a long way, doesn't it? Lucas, the only one trying to poke and prod onto the second point as White Lotus cap it up, but importantly, Uber charges were not used. Spawners are back in, so Witness Gaming, they can reset and they can turn this into a second stalemate, and all eyes now land towards Sil and Papi. Can they get in? Can they get some success? Can they find a force onto Skis?
Looking for one man now, and that is Skis. Papi sending quite aggressively, kind of spam out, make space for his team. You can see Logan eagerly anticipating what's going to come in a few seconds as Papi bombs up high. Slenter's not really there to be found. He's going to dance around instead. Let's try and make space for his team, but there's no real follow-up for the moment. Retreating slightly back. He just sit and shoot and hope that eventually his rockets find their mark. It's decent damage onto Logan, but he gets healed up instantly. So for the moment, it's a 1-1 stalemate. Still no team finding that sizable advantage.
Is the White Lotus, look at the aggression that they're putting in. They really want to try and make something work, and Skis actually almost pays the price for it, getting a direct to the face there from Papi, and does just about live, but it's a bit of a shake-up, you know.
The Witness fearing the retaliation of White Lotus, already back on mid, making sure there is no counterplay available for them. So still just sat back. It is now Solentes' turn to try, as he also just finds the first little rocket. Do not say out loud what Skis' health was there.
There's a number, yeah, we will not be broadcasting, but here we go. Witness Gaming kind of upping the pace with these sacks now. They're going faster, like the sort of one-mans, rather than circling around and messing about. They're just hurling themselves in, and it's worked pretty well the last couple of times. Skis close to death on the last 2 calls. But they've got about half of this round time done now, so they've got to maybe mix things up. Are they gonna try and send the double? Are they gonna go more aggressive? Maybe take a trade?
Maybe so. I mean, still just sat back. Scouting out papi once again with the double high bomb coming in, surfing back around, getting back out. Unfortunately, it's damage dealt, but nothing really sizable onto the opposing team. So they're just going to sit back, let Lucas take the brunt of the damage. Selectors is now in. He finds both rockets and a force onto Skis. And so now Witness, with the tail between their legs, has to run back as they go for the counter pop. It comes in and it is so much damage onto Logan, but he does not fall to gravity. Instead, it is the crunch from the flank and from Tomas. Everyone falls on the side of the White Lotus. It is just 2 scouts versus Chris in a 2v1 for the round and perhaps the series.
But the spawners are going to be there. There's 3 spawners coming up in 2 seconds, and the last point is a rush to see if they can get there. And I don't think Witness Gaming are going to do it. They're going to have to settle with just capping up the second point. There was literally seconds in there. I think a little bit longer on those spawns, and Witness Gaming were in with a chance.
I thought Chris was going to go for that 2v1. Instead, much smarter than me. Just backs out, make sure they don't have the pick to work with, just delay them in the cap, make sure they can't come to last. But now it's Silenta's in, as Witness go in before you have any kind of gun. It is already dead, but we've sacked 3 for this. That means that Witness now running out as immediately White Lotus are forwards. Lucas is caught in lobby. There's no one here to help him. Now it's 4-man down. And that is a second for absolutely free for the White Lotus.
It is, and everyone's had to run all the way back. Look at the spawn time on Lucas as well. 8 more seconds he's going to have to wait before he spawns on the second point of the map. So it's just all going to be about bunkering on mid without these stickies. I think White Lotus might fancy a push in.
Oh my god, Silentus and papi are so low in this pre-fight, however. And so they all have to back out as papi actually taken down Thomas as well. They're all falling. Auto doesn't have. He's 90%. A J does so much damage. And so Auto now forced to run out in through lobby. He gets the pack. As a final little bit of salvation, the Uber is popped as Silentus is in behind, gets the Uber force, and Logan, unfortunately unable to kill him, means Uber threat is alleviated for the moment. Auto has an Uber charge. They're looking to lead this forwards.
Ixie is a monster, isn't he? Chunking down these players on the way through. Lucas going to get bombed in. Jay bombs in. Second time of asking, does get the force out on to Auto. And now Witness Gaming with the Uber charge. They walk forward. 2 players down for White Lotus. They're going to have to scurry all the way back. As Witness, they want to just roll this in a bit slower. They want to try and get their buffs first. They want to try and take as much ground as they can on this middle point. Skis is all the way away. And because Skis took that Uber way earlier, I think we're into flip-flop territory because White Lotus, they're just going to buff up and come straight back in.
They have a massive advantage to work with. They really want to see this fight because the Witness are not pushing forwards at all. They are sat ready to walk out as soon as they smell any kind of red player coming in. So Logan charging some spam up. 2 soldier sack coming forward. Skis' Uber instantly popped as well.
There's a 2 soldier sack, but neither soldier actually died, and they might be doing some killing as well because Still and papi working fantastic on these players coming in. Logan is actually the one to die. The flank on Witness Gaming is doing absolute numbers. Still is still in and fighting in on the red second point, and Ixie has worked his way all the way back onto enemy last, and he's dragging back players with him. This is good chance now for a play in onto second. The Witness Gaming combo while leaving the space they are granted, and Ixie's not just dragging players back, he's killing them as well.
Jay falls as well from Tomas, and so this is now 4 alive for White Lotus in on last. Auto 100% with a player out to boot. They can just send this in. Would be absolutely massive. There are 2 minutes left of regulation. Witness would be taking a sizable advantage if they did so, but instead they're just going to buff up, wait for that player. They still have ad, but it's not that big. Skis now 80%. Witness, you have to go on this. The later you act, the more the chances that Skis has Uber, so they go in now.
95.
It's 96%, and Skis doesn't fall. He counterpops, but high 5 anyway. It is so much damage dealt, and Auto might fall, but look for the post Uber now. Witness are so low, but Ixie is in onto the point. He does get shut down. It is everyone coming forward, but Lucas' tank comes through, finds the kill onto Skis in the final seconds, and White Lotus is still in this barely.
They fight on tooth and nail to White Lotus. What a hold.
Unbelievable. Witness throw everything at them. Lucas firing at all
back
cylinders.
in again.
Thomas once more.
And why not as well? The spawners are slow for White Lotus. They still have advantage. Auto 30% Uber charge. Skis coming up on the crit screen. There's 40 seconds left before we go into infinite overtime. We are practically playing next round wins. Next round gets the upper bracket final. And with 50 advantage for Auto, they have to be careful. They don't want to cap before that timer hits 0.
This is a crit that's almost up around the same time as Auto's Uber. But it has to be the one that replies first or after the Uber has faded. Witness looking to take everything just after this timer ends as they push in straight, ignoring shutters, as this is a gun that's actually not immediately dealt with. Instead is the point cap coming forward for Witness. 5 seconds now left as Jay and Hi-Fi both link up. It is Salentes coming through, but Chris with the stickies is doing so much damage. Finds 2 kills, but not the third. So this is a 4v4 now. They're sitting just around the corner. They're not going in. They're staying back. And so are White Lotus. Skis instantly off onto the medigun. But that means that Auto has 50 advantage now.
Honestly, this is genius from Witness if they meant to just get the Ubers out and go again, because now we're into first to 2. You can see it at the top of our screens. Next round winner enters the upper bracket final. The loser will have to fight through that gauntlet down in the lower bracket, and Witness Gaming want it to be them going forward because they have Uber Charge ready. Auto's at 90%, Witness Gaming, they're going in.
Lucas sending it in alongside Thomas. They are instantly taking down the gun. I say no, it's still alive. Papi's taken down as well by High-Five, but Logan crunched onto the point. It's time through in the cap. Half already gone. Salentes is alone. Uncontested on the point and uncontested in the server. Witness tie this game up in overtime. Take it 2-1, and if you come at the King, Ben, you best not miss.
You don't take down the world champions that easily. And Salentes, it's so fitting that it was him to do it, to get on the point at the end, to blast everyone else away, because what a series he has had, and what a fight back it was from Witness Gaming. They're in the upper bracket final, despite that early scare.
It is monumental champions mentality coming forwards from Witness after suffering that upset on map number 1, dominating on product, and then taking Metalworks in a very, very close 2-1. It has been an unbelievable series, and I think I've got an analyst desk ready to take you further.
Wellity well. Seems we've returned back to the snake on the snakes and ladders. Every rung we go up on the ladder, we fall back down. I'm joined on the couch with Piggles, Lef, and Roticher. Piggles, was there any hope in your heart that Witness were going to lose this, or did you have hope for Witness to win this?
I don't want to say I was preying on their downfall, but I want to see the underdogs win. And I mean, they might not like to hear it, but well, I hope they don't think this. But the NAs were the underdogs in this fight. I was praying for them to win. I wanted them to win. I mean, it's bad in actuality for us guys, because if the Americans win, we are going to go against Witness in the lower bracket, and admittedly there's no hope, but with the NAs there does seem to be a glimmer of hope for the lower level teams against those guys. So yeah, I was hoping the NAs would win, even if it was bad for my upset team, but it wasn't to be. I didn't catch all of the game. I saw a bit of product which was a bit of a mess for the NAs, and then I saw Metal, and that was they seemed out of sorts, Witness. I don't know, it just didn't seem like the usual Witness gaming that we see.
Lef, obviously we saw an example of White Lotus giving their best shot against Witness, but there's actually a lot of champions or contenders that could fight Witness. Do you think this is the best team to take on Witness in a grand final setting?
Yeah, I do think so. I think Witness they're very good at playing the game they played for so long, and if you hit them with something different, it kind of makes them stumble a bit. I think that's exactly what the Americans will do to them, which I think is good. I am sick of seeing Witness win everything, to be honest. I'd love to see the Americans win this. I'm bored of Witness. I don't think they're good for the scene. But yeah, I want the Americans to be in the grand final. I think that'd be a good grand final. And just watching that match, that was interesting, man. Yeah. There was a lot of things that weren't. I don't know how to describe it really, but there was a lot of chaos situations. It's nice to see them. But Witness, they've always managed to pull it out of the bag,
Well, I've got the logs here for you guys, so maybe it might make it a bit easier for you to analyse. I have to move forward because I'm old and I've got ancient eyes, but Roticher, you've got a lovely prescription glasses. I'm sure you can probably read these much better than I. Is anything grabbing your attention?
Well, Logan seems to be doing really well in this Metalworks game.
Yeah, that man is sitting on 8k damage compared to... Where is Lucas? Oh, he's down there. What the hell? Was he playing the game? He's only got 6 kills and 4 assists.
Yeah. I mean, it was a really slow game for Witness.
Maybe he was murking for Domo. Was Domo playing the first half? I don't know.
Maybe.
But, Roticher, obviously White Lotus have lost this game, but does it feel like a loss? Does this feel like a good step in the right direction? I mean, they still have the lower bracket to run through. Do you think like they just need a bit more time to like work out the Witness game?
Yeah, I think White Lotus, they don't really mind losing because they're still going to be able to play lower bracket, and they are honestly the best contenders for Witness in this LAN, in my opinion.
All right, and we've actually got the breakdown of all the tournament so far. It's not just the Witness and White Lotus show. There has been a lot of games going on. It's been your games have been going on whilst things have happened. So you guys got to go fill me in. Obviously, Roticher, you're here as a spectator, so you get to bully Lef and Piggles and whatever happened with them. So, but yeah, throw the mic over to Lef, and Lef, you can tell me what happened with your team.
So obviously we lost to Dirty Maggots. We had a very good game against them.
Wow, that looked
yeah,
close.
we kind of beat them on Gully Wash. Apparently they hadn't woken up yet, you know. They were kind of playing too fast but not coming. And then we had close games on Process and Sunshine, which we lost, but yeah,
How did Lancome Monitor go?
I think we just off-classed against them and kind of rolled them.
Oh, easy peasy. Yeah. Well, there you go. Piggles, you've been playing with Joey Guns, and you actually had some pretty cool games, I've heard.
Yeah, it was somewhat close against the Americans on map 1, I think it was. Wasn't in it in the second map really in the Gully Wash. They seemed good at Gully against us anyway. I don't know how much that means anything. But who am I against there? So I'm against...
You played against the demo night. How did that go?
Yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, we won. So we're now against... who are those? They're aliens, right?
Yeah,
Alien
you're
Workshop.
playing against Alan's Workshop.
Okay, right. Okay, so Mac, look at this. So if Mac wins his next game... He then goes against White Lotus. That's going to be a good game to watch. Joey Guns against Dirty Maggots could. It'll be more of an upset, if anything. But Mac versus Americans could be one to look out for, I reckon.
You think you got this left? You think the Americans, like, obviously you had a somewhat competitive game with them, but you didn't work out that one time. Is it just we'll get it the second time?
We played them on product. It's very different to 5CP, isn't it? So I don't know how they'll like on 5CP. But I think they're getting a lot better as LAN goes on, you know. Yep. I feel like they're playing a lot better than they were against us. You know, they felt beatable if we played a lot better. But now it seems like they're playing a lot better, you know, in general.
Roticher, we're actually spoilt for choice here. There's a lot of games that are going to be happening at the same time. Is there any games like if you were in charge, if J-Max was like shot, and you get to choose the game, what? He looks very angry at me, J-Max, but we'll ignore that detail. But if you get to choose the game, what game would you be most interested in to watch?
Ooh. Honestly, I do really like seeing Witness versus White Lotus, but I do also want to see...
The Witness versus Mandem, maybe?
Yeah, Witness versus Mandem. But I do also want to see... what is it? Yeah, White Lotus versus Mac.
Yeah, that'll be interesting as well. But
here's a question, Turbo. Here's one
for me.
Yeah.
I asked the questions.
Well, you should be the oracle here because you've seen all of this sort of stuff now. Like you get.
I've actually, out of all the people on the couch, I've called the most right predictions.
Well, here's your next one then.
All right.
Mandem versus Witness. Will it be closer than Americans versus Witness?
I don't think it'll be closer, but I think it'll be competitive.
You still think Witness will hit the win?
I think Witness will get the win.
Right.
But I think Mandem would be actually better than White Lotus in the final.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That is weird.
That's my opinion.
Why is that? Why do you think that?
I think... There's just something about the roster that seems to echo a bit better with me. I think if they actually hit the demos and and Witness think that they're comfy in this, and then they have the panic of the grand final. I think it's going to be a bit better for them.
Well, how is this working? Is the White Lotus team, are they a mixed team? Are they trying? What is going on
A
here?
mixture of... I wouldn't say full fat trying, because we've got some people playing classes that they're not really known for, like High Five is playing Soldier, Scout class, all that stuff.
This is the thing, though. I've walked past their room, and if I wanted to go in their room, I cannot.
No. They've actually put a big on sign, yes, because I guess they're not used to like the tight quarters of...
We're not allowed to go into
Okay, yes, we are
rooms.
teasing the fact that we do have Papi here. Papi, do you want to actually go on the sofa? If you're going to tease a foot, you might as well. Hi, Papi.
Hello.
How are you feeling? Obviously, very stressful game, I'm guessing.
Yeah, not so good. That was a bad one.
What happened?
I think first map we just played bad. Like, we could have won very easily, but we played bad. And then the last map was like, we should have lost, but somehow we won.
Yeah, I think I actually had you penciled for White Lotus, and we're going to cream you guys.
Yep.
Well, not cream you, but
Cream
like...
you? Brother, what? What is this guy saying?
I mean, I have utmost faith, but you were winning at the start in my prediction.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go, but
the creaming was coming later.
I like decorative words, okay?
Okay, sorry.
So, is it the map yourself? I know you're not the biggest fan of Metalworks, and I noticed you even whipped out some of those unlocks in your dire moments of the game.
Oh yeah, I got a funny hold.
Yeah, the funny,
shooting down
the
on
funny
people.
Geordie kills.
Felt like Geordie. Yeah, that is not balanced. That is unfair.
Yeah, but this could be a pedestal. Look Sodium in the eyes wherever he is, and just tell him like this weapon is insane.
I've got something right. Have you heard about potential strats with the base jumper for potential final happenings with like dirty maggots?
No,
There's a way with the base jumper. You can script like jumping super far with the base jumper, and it's basically a speed shot on steroids based with this. So the downside is you take damage.
Is it a macro? Like, is
Yeah.
it cheating? Well, macros are banned though, I think. Although
I don't think it's macro. I don't want to be that guy.
Macro, right?
But either way,
Sodium, head over to the analytical couch for a question about macro Sodium.
Either or, that just proves the base jumper is
base jumper's broken.
crazy.
But
yeah,
maggots are in lower bracket, right? They lost to Mandem.
So who are they playing now? Who was it? Have we got the brackets? Can we get the brackets up?
I'd love to see the bracket.
We got to get the bracket up. Because we were saying earlier, is Mandem gonna be a better competition for you,
so maggots are other side to White Lotus.
Yeah, and eventually they'll meet.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
unless
Orchid here.
This is what we're talking about. Mac versus White Lotus is the game to look out for in that area, I think.
Yeah.
And whilst Turbo has actually brought back his youth, he's regrown his hair. He's lost a bit of timber, and he's de-aged on his face with wrinkles. Oh no, it's not. It's just Fancy. Hello, Fancy. How are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great right now. I'm so happy to be here in this seat right here. Like this? Yeah. So, I'm the new host. I'm gonna be asking you guys questions, and we're just gonna bounce off each other, right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So, Piggles, how you feeling? Next game, I think you got Dirty Maggots, I believe.
No, we don't.
My bad. That's production's fault for telling me that. Selling stuff in my ear. That's weird. So, who you playing?
We are playing Alien Workshop, so it will be a close game.
You feeling confident?
So confident as ever. Yeah. Who are you playing next? You're playing.
I'm a producer. So. Next.
Hang on. Production's in my ear. They're telling me something. Apparently, Condog was trying to put on the plane. Condog was chatting up the local Polish ladies on the plane. I don't know why production just brought that up in my ear. Sorry about that one, Gonzo.
So,
oh wait, Condog's coming into this.
Right, Papi, got a few questions for you.
Yeah.
So, close game, honestly. How are you feeling after that? Must be
I'm
adrenaline.
feeling like after you're stressed and then that feeling after being stressed.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling, yeah.
What could you relate to? Having a driving test, doing your A-levels, your GCSEs, things like that.
Yeah. So I think you're playing Mandem next game.
Yeah.
Not sure what time it is. I think it's 9.
21. Production just told me in the year 21.
Oh, okay, yeah, 9.
Yeah, production in my
Guys,
ear got
come on.
me.
Come on, guys. So yeah, feeling good versus Mandem. You think you're gonna beat him?
Depends. They have this guy on demo who spin bots, so it depends. If
Really?
he's spin botting, we will lose. If he's spin botting, we'll lose. If he's not spin botting, I think we've got a good chance.
Yeah, that's fair enough. What's his name?
He likes grind music. I can't remember the name. Something grind daily.
I know that guy.
He's
really
very good.
Oh,
He's
he's so
very
good. Right, moving on. We got Lef. Hi, Lef. Welcome to the show. So, who are you playing next? Do you know? Do you have any
playing
ideas?
White Lotus next.
Oh, that's going to be a good game. How are you feeling about that?
I don't really know, to be honest.
You don't
We
know?
played on product and it went okay-ish. We still lost, but we haven't played on 5CP yet.
Yeah, well, I think you guys got it. Those Americans stink. I'm going to be honest. They're terrible. You guys should win that. If you don't, I'm going to be very disappointed. And I'll give you a Twix later if you win.
Yeah, you have been saying this all LAN, and you haven't got me a single
It was
Twitch yet.
June first, but
You
yeah,
also did
producer
say
now busy and stuff, you know. Right, Roticher, how are you finding the LAN? I know you're a spectator. You're not really playing. How you finding
Well,
it?
I'm enjoying it. I'm
Yeah?
enjoying it. I'm watching all the games, and they're really entertaining. I've been watching behind some of you from Mandem,
Hey.
some of from
Over
the
here.
Yak team, and Witness, of course, and Mac.
Who's your
and-
favourite team so far?
Oh, it's hard to say actually. Probably Witness, you know. But I also like Mac because they're pretty funny.
Right.
So production Maria just asking, how do you think Andy Dude would do at this LAN? Obviously, long-time teammate of yourself and European best player in the world. Oh, sorry, European best player in the world in Europe. How do you think he would do?
I think he would do really well at LAN.
Yeah?
He's a really good LAN player, even though he has not been to many, just one.
Do you think he would win the LAN? If he had one Andy Dude and 5 jonklers, would he win the LAN?
Yes.
Okay. That's high praise.
For that question, production. I think yeah, you're right. Yeah. I think my time is done. I think Tabs is on his way back, so just yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not worried about my job. This is cringe. Let's
There he
just
is,
let's
yeah.
just go. Let's just go. Put it away, production. Let's go. Come on now. Let's wrap it up. Come on.
I could be a fucking sick.